Oh, wow.
What the hell?
He's getting
Moment of silence, everybody. Come on, it's Ray Charles.
What are you going on about?
just
America.
listen to Ray Charles.
Oh, that?
Okay.
I should have warned you.
No.
That's okay.
Thought I see. This is what I do when I try to surprise you. Y'all want to cackle like a bunch of kids.
It's okay.
But it's the power of Ray.
Hmm.
America.
I thought it was going to be the Star Spangled Man, but this is just as good.
Yeah. It's appropriate for what we're watching tonight, too.
Yes.
P.S. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th of
Happy
July,
4th of July.
everybody.
Yes, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. It's going good for you.
Sing it, Ray.
Mhm.
I'm in tears right now.
That's okay.
The song does that to you, man.
I'm going back to look at the pictures you sent while you're playing that, if you don't mind me, because
Leia!
God bless America is all I have to say.
Indeed.
Yes.
America. Who remembers in Sandlot?
Someone's in the
This
chat
goes
there.
out to every black person that loved America, that did their due diligence to do what they do, to usher in for everybody in this country, to show that we can be tolerant and less intolerant. This goes out to everybody, not just my people, everybody under one banner. America. We are Americans. From sea
Amen.
to shining sea. Oh my goodness. Ray can oh my goodness. You can never go wrong with Ray Charles
People
on this
for,
particular day. Happy 4th of July, everybody. You and Spacey Wolf Squadron, you know the cadence. I'm here with my compadres, my wingmen. Starting with the lovely Leia Valor, Leia plus size.
hello, everybody. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely Leia Valor, and I hope you're having a happy and safe holiday. And I'm glad you were here to join us to watch what I think is the best and probably the greatest MCU movie, which is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So I hope you all come and enjoy the fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with this.
Joining us again from Occupied Balmore, the man, the myth, the trooper, FN 2525.
Hey guys, it's going to be super fantastic. We're going to go ahead and do a meta-analysis on the second installment of the Captain America trilogy, which is, of course, Winter Soldier. It's going to be very interesting considering that, after the last watch, we are now moving into the events of bigger organizations, also where Captain America fits in the MCU according to his timeline. So it's going to be really fun. I'm ready. So, start throwing those opinions and those questions into the stream.
And
Go
share
ahead
the
and
stream,
hit
everybody.
the upvote. And on top of that, you're definitely going to like today's content. So definitely share and definitely hit us up on MeWe.
Please share this stream, everybody. If you guys want to hear some commentary, some really interesting commentary too, pop your Captain America Winter Soldier in, share it with your friends, anybody, do your part, everything. Above Trooper FN 2525, he is the Maverick Hunter Saint, Brian Gill Martin.
Good evening, everybody, and hope you guys had a very good 4th of July. And tonight we got Gonna be watching Captain America: The Winter Soldier and doing meta-analysis, as Trooper said, which is quite appropriate for the holiday. So hope you guys gonna have some fun tonight.
Standing next to me from a basement underneath with a good Wi-Fi, it's the Schooner the Tuna. Schooner Tuna.
Coming at you live from a secret government facility buried deep underground, but has excellent Wi-Fi. This is Schooner Tuna. I can't wait, and I'm excited. Happy 4th of July, everybody. And today we are going to be watching Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Now,
So, what ushered in, I believe, the Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
the peak.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Now, are we going to recap what our original experiences were with this movie?
We can. I mean, if you really
If
want
you
to.
like. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
if you
like.
want to do that, I'm down. I'm totally down.
You know.
Yes.
I guess
I'm
I'll
sure
start
some
since
of you guys,
I'm
you know,
the me-
I do have my own.
I'll
take.
start because I'm the leader. Not kidding. But yeah, this was I would say my second date with my then wife when I saw this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. That's nice.
Yeah, we saw
Perfect.
this together. You know, pay for a very expensive two tickets, but like I still remember that time when we came to see this movie. This movie was really good, seeing it on a big screen, and I left there, wowed by it. Now, go ahead, anybody who wants to take the mic for this one.
Well,
I
I will respectfully volunteer the Lady of Valor.
Nice.
I thought you were going to do it. Well, I saw this with a few of my family members who we were MCU fans at this point, and our taste in movies are not the same, but we all were agreed that we were getting into the MCU, so we all went to see it. And I think we went that opening weekend. We went that Saturday night, and I have to tell you that I went in thinking this would just be just another installment, watch it, get through it, and go about my merry way. But I never thought I'd come out of there blowed out the water and emotionally invested as I was in this film. I wanted to get back in line to get another ticket, but since I was with them, I couldn't. But I did go back. I am not. I kid you not. I am not making this up. The next day, which was Sunday, I went back to see it a second time. I had to see it a second time
nice.
because it was that good. It just blew me totally out of the water. Everything about it, I was emotionally invested. And as I watched it, it took me out of it. I totally forgot I was watching an MCU movie. I just thought I was just watching a good film. It totally took me out of the fact I was watching a superhero film. So that's why I call it the best of the MCU films. And I think it came out in a year when we got, I think, 3 of the best superhero movies, if I can remember. I think there was also the year of X-Men Days of Future Past and Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think that year we just got what I think were just golden, the top of superhero films. And everything about it, man, I was just so blown away by it, invested. That's why I call it my favorite of the MCU. It's probably the best one. I'll be watching this 20 years from now. I'll still pull this out. It was good. I loved Chris Evans' performance in it. Maybe some people don't want to give him credit, but I just thought he knocked it out the park in this one. He really did. I absolutely thought he knocked it out the park. He finally embraced Steve Rogers. So that's me right there.
You want to take this one, Schooner, since you threw her under the bus?
Yep. Now it's time for my penance. I accept it gracefully. I went and I saw this movie with my brother. He and I were actually still in college. We were home from college at the time, but we went there and we saw it, and we were absolutely blown away. I mean, we were like, wow. I mean, not since Avengers, and that's a big deal when it actually meant something. Not since Avengers had I been like so thoroughly like impressed and entertained. I mean, because I already knew the twist of the Winter Soldier plot, and I was like going, I don't know what they're going to do. I guess they're just going straight forward. Boy, was I wrong. This was like, no, they really put their thinking and creative taps on here to try to make a story that everybody knew the twist was. And those who were the fans of comics, they all knew the twist. And, online, everybody was already opening their mouths and blowing the secret. So everybody knew who Winter Soldier was, more or less, going in. So, but then you go, okay, the directors of this completely threw a curveball our way and decided to evolve the plot, so like I said, I was amazed. And then when my brother and I went back to college, it turns out that the movie theater in our college was showing it, and we got the student discount because we were students, and we just went there with our friends. We used any and all excuse just to go and see it. So this is the MCU film that I can proudly say I've seen the most.
Same here.
Go ahead, take it away, Brian.
Yeah, so this was one of the MCU films I did not see in the film, but I got a chance to watch it this past week, and I gotta say, I was very impressed with how they handled the story and the plot twists and everything else. So I'm looking
Feel
forward to
bad
doing
for
this
you. One of these days,
rewatch
we're going
too.
to kidnap you and pop it in on movie theater.
Oh yeah, bring the popcorn for that one, man. So
Hey,
yeah, I'm
hey,
looking
hey,
forward
hey,
to.
hey! Bring your own. We ain't doing we ain't doing no luxury here. You a hostage.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this rewatch tonight, and Trooper, I think it's time for you to take it away.
Like I said, I have a different take on this. I mean, we were coming off of, the Avengers. The Avengers ended up getting an estimated budget of 220 million. It actually was a 1.5 billion grossing film. So that actually marked the MCU as a viable franchise. Now, mind you, Avengers came out under the Paramount run. This particular film that we're going to be watching came out under Disney. It was written by the Russo brothers. This particular film, in a way, kind of marked the fact that these Marvel films were now more or less viable as standalone films, and also within the actual tent of the franchise itself. This particular film actually got an estimated budget of 170 million, which is about a little bit more than what a lot of these films have received. If we're talking about Captain Marvel, if we're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, that seemed to be about the standard budget. So, I mean, as far as like the uh, being able to more or less generate these films, and crank them out, the formula was definitely there. This particular one, just like Guardians of the Galaxy, grossed 700 million in the box office, and so did Guardians. Guardians actually brought in a little more. So, and
Hmm.
when I talk about
Mhm.
those grossing amounts, I'm talking about worldwide. But
Mhm.
this also marks a departure from what we had seen up to this point. This is more or less an action film. It's not. I wouldn't call it too cartoony, if you will, or too much into the uh, comic book feel that we were already getting out of Avengers from Joss Whedon. This was literally more of a hard action film. So this particular film, above all the other films, really does have a different tone. If we look at subsequently the following phases, this particular film is one of the only films that is like that. You could probably compare it to Ant-Man and
There's
Wasp,
a reason behind it.
and I mean, even then, the action is very different. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna explain the reason why it is the way it is, because somebody in the board had put a note to the Russo saying, make this honest trailers proof.
Say that again.
Make this movie honest trailers proof.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
So like when when
Mhm.
uh when Honest Trailers did a Honest Trailer for Captain America, the Winter Soldier, they had nothing to really bag on it about. So so at the end, the joke at the end was Captain America. He's cool now. because they bagged on First Avenger, and they bagged on his inclusion in the Avengers, and like the more they get to this, it was like they're like, oh wow, we can't even
What
do.
can we say bad about this movie? We can't.
Yeah, and it's like they even brought the writers and the producers to check it out, and he actually brought that up. He's like, we got a letter that said make this honest trailers proof, and they was like, oh, okay, but
Well,
yeah,
I mean, if we want to argue that point, because I mean, I do see an article from, this year from May 30, 2021. I mean, if we really want to go with that, then they really missed the mark on subsequent films after 2014. This particular article was updated this year, but it was originally published September 2014. I mean, if that was the case, then they missed the mark on every other film because
Mhm.
we started to see the slow decline of this franchise. We really didn't see those cracks.
Disappointing that they didn't.
Black
I get-
Panther, maybe. I mean, some people even say Ragnarok. I choose to dispute that, but
Yeah, I
Mm.
agree with what Trooper's saying. No movie really ever tried to be anything like it. I mean, with the
yeah.
exception
I
of
mean,
like,
I mean, I mean,
Ragnarok.
I mean, going with that story, while it's nice and it brings back a nostalgia level. I mean, it really only underscores the fact that this particular film is the only film within any of these superhero trilogies that has a different tone in terms of hard action. I would argue that Ragnarok does the same thing, but in a different way, because that actually introduces us to the Marvel cosmic universe. But that's a completely different thing, and it has nothing really to do with what we traditionally would call action or we would call spy films.
Mhm.
And that's another,
Yep.
yeah, and that's kind of a tragedy, really, because this was the idyllic moment. And sorry, Wolf, I said I wouldn't do this. I said that to myself, but this would have been the idyllic time to get our Black Widow movie.
Well, actually, I mean, if they
Yeah.
really wanted to,
Yes.
that Black Widow film could have been somewhere in between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, because that would have been the best placement for it, considering we would have already been coming off the Civil War.
Yo, Dominic.
So that, for me, probably would have been the best placement for it. I mean, some people argue, oh, well, that's where Captain Marvel was shoehorned in between Infinity War and Endgame. My thing with that is, honestly, we didn't need any films in between. Again, do I really believe the numbers on Captain Marvel? Absolutely not, because
I don't either.
I mean, reports were already leaking
No fudgy
that
numbers there.
Disney was cooking their numbers, and that's
Like in real life,
honestly,
doesn't it?
that honestly is what was very reflective is in terms of theater attendance. I mean, I didn't see any of these theaters with people lines out the window trying to see this. So it was very contradictory to what the narrative that was pushed by these studios was. And we've
No, it's funny. My theater did not clap after Captain Marvel wrapped up.
Well, and here's the
Good,
thing.
they're smart.
Doesn't surprise me.
Well, here's the thing. Captain
Now they
Marvel
did
in and of
hoop and
itself-
holler when she popped up at the reveal the reveal trailer, as I call it,
No.
for Endgame.
Yep.
Which
that ain't
okay.
weird. Okay, yeah, that's where I was.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah. When
That is weird, Brian.
When
I didn't.
when
I
Nick
bu-
Fury gets snapped, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because
No, not that one.
Great.
No. I'm talking about Endgame, not Infinity War.
Oh, for the
Yeah,
she goes and takes out the
where the beeper stops and then Cap turns around and there
Where's
she
Nick
is.
Fury? Yeah, that crap. Yeah.
Where's Fury?
Yeah, where's Fury? I'm like, oh, it's the well, here comes the end of the world.
They fly now.
Bitch, you
Hell
couldn't say
froze
hi
over.
to them?
I said, hell froze over now.
Excuse me for swearing to
I
everybody.
mean, the big race was against Infinity War. I pretty much think they ran out of steam by the time they got to Endgame. I mean, they were at this point they were just looking up to wrap up storylines, and the reality is that a lot of these actors were not coming back. To refilm would have been their own grave because a lot of these actors cost a lot more now. But the problem is when they go and do their own thing, guess what? They realize they don't cost as much as they think they do. So,
Right. I agree. And also,
Value's going down.
And I also want to
well,
add.
it has to do with
Hang on, Trooper. Go ahead, Leia.
I do agree. They realize when they get, it's going to be interesting to see their value after they come out of the MCU, because movie stars aren't the same as they used to be. But I also want to say that I also think at this point Feige was bitten by the woke bug, and I know I stay on this, but I just can't help it. I think at this point he was in a hurry to get his woke universe started. I just really do feel that way. I felt like that Endgame was, I'm going to kill off these characters. They'll never come back. And let's bring in what I think is politically correct superheroes that nobody really likes, D-list superheroes, to get this next phase going.
Oh, he
So I
showed his
also
fanny
think
pack
that
all right.
It's going to please his mistress, right?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Well,
I wouldn't be
That-
surprised.
I mean,
I would-
again, you're giving
Yes,
a guy
Brian, you have to
virtue
please
where
his
there is
mistress.
none. I mean, realistically, Captain Marvel came out in 2019. I mean, this is 1 year out from the biggest election to happen. So I mean,
Exactly.
everything franchise-wise and culturally was already swinging towards a particular direction. So it had nothing to do with people being bit. That's where the money's at. And I hate to say it, that's how it's going to be. As long as you've got donors that are willing to give you money to make these types of films, guess what? You got to make those types of films, because I mean that's what it's about. I don't think when we look at these films and when we look at the ending of these phases, I mean, they were already raking in this money. So I mean, they could toss out movies like this and still generate money regardless. So I mean, that's what that really was. Captain Marvel was always going to be a revenue loss, but they wanted it out anyway. So, and that's kind of where we're at with D Plus, because D Plus is subpar content for this particular franchise.
Wait. Push pause. We in a rewatch. We ain't on WCR right now. Let's get this show on the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys bring up these topics, and we try to. Put
I didn't bring up no damn topic. I'm talking about a topic that's
we
related to
try to
the
put a-
damn movie.
We try to put a nice varnish on this thing, and it is a nice.
Y'all ain't got yourselves started. That's on y'all, man. I was talking about something topical about the damn movie.
Well, well, it all
Let's do
relates.
this thing.
It all relates.
Y'all done veered off, done rid off the road. Y'all ain't following y'all GPS like y'all used to.
I was going to let him finish and then say, are we ready to start?
Yeah, like I've been ready.
Look.
Realistically,
Save this shit for WCR, and let's get this show on the road.
All right. Are we ready? Okay. I can start the
Ready.
film.
Yep.
All right, y'all ready? In the count of three. 3, 2. Wait, everybody on the 1 second, right? Or 0 seconds?
I've been here on the 0 seconds.
Yep.
What about you, Trooper?
Yep.
That's a begrudging yep, but I'm gonna accept that. Anyways, 3.
Again, it is what it is. So
Yeah, you said
It's
it.
a nice film.
Next time we'll try it. Next
Right.
time we'll try it.
Like,
I'm just saying, man, that this is, I don't know, man. This is substandard. Let's just say that. Anyways, 3, 2, 1, play. Turn my thing down real quick. Can we appreciate that Marvel music?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love this introduction. I do.
Now I'm gonna-
Yay. Okay. All right. Love it. I loved it back then.
Going back
Now-
to my Black Panther rewrite, I'm going to mention another key player in there pretty soon when we get there. And I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking.
The
Shut up.
I'm like, okay, nice rewrite. Can we move on to reality, please? Like, please.
We in reality.
Well, the reality is, unfortunately, this was a very good film. It was a very underrated film. It did very well, but they never followed this tone after this film.
I agree, Trooper. The rest of the movies, that's why, real quick, I'm just going to say, that's why when Age of Ultron came out, I don't hate it, but I just felt like it was so below this one. I was on such a high after this one that I felt Josh Whedon just missed it in Age of Ultron.
Well, Joss Whedon was really riding off of the first Avengers film. I mean, again, all these stories can happen in between. That
On your
doesn't
left.
really play into the fact that when
I think what I truly
Or
loved
say-
about this,
montage,
what I truly loved most about this opening was the fact that we see Steve and he's already introducing himself to Falcon, but they're passing all of these, monuments,
Well,
the
Yeah, I
this,
love that.
this
These
one was a
soldiers.
little
Yeah.
bit more,
of
and my
what
biggest
these
critique
soldiers fought for.
my biggest critique of First Avenger is that it doesn't really have enough echoes of any type of Americanism or American ideology. This one kind of does
Oh yes.
in
Eh,
the
Oh
in the
yeah.
fact that you get iconic images of DC, which is like the cesspit of 2020. But within this particular world, it's idyllic. And I had said that about Tomorrow War is that when we do something idyllic, people tend to kind of get out of the bubble of,
Muscles.
hey, we're not in idyllic.
I agree with you both. I thought the opening was beautiful of the nation's capital. I absolutely
Yeah.
agree with you with that, and it's
Yep.
done with respect. It is. I
It
do
was a
like
bright
that.
and shiny morning.
And then
Yeah.
we got
Oh yeah.
Ms. Black Widow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yes, but I do agree with you. I like the opening a lot, where it starts with his, and I like it starts a little bit of his theme. We don't hear it for the rest of the movie, but we do hear his first Avenger theme at the
Yeah.
start. I like that his little book about what he needs to watch, and
Yeah.
God bless Gray Muscle Shirt. Sweet have mercy. It's a great way to
Yeah.
start a film. Show off the
Couldn't help
muscles.
herself.
And that's it.
Enter,
Hey, I
And
told you
Maddie-
I'm going on.
enter Black Wahado. So
No.
Yeah.
at this
No, I
point,
call
No,
in
this
this
is what
movie.
Joe
Hang on,
likes.
everybody, hang on. In this movie, I call her Black Little Sister.
at this point, she's still a woman of substance, which for all that's worth, I don't know. But
She's a little sister in this one.
this is the first film where she sports the long hair.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Falcon
Not
is
my
not.
I
favorite.
like the long hair.
Not my
Yeah, the
favorite.
long hair actually works because it echoes a lot of the art that you see in the comic.
It's not my favorite, but it's a little bit better than the one she had in the first Avengers movie.
Well, I mean, it's flat iron hair. It's gonna look like flat iron hair.
I'm like Wolf. I think that's the look she was trying to. What I appreciate about this film, costume wise, everybody looks like they were trying to step out the comic book, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
A lot of people said in a review that they liked for their superhero character to look like they stepped out of the comic book. They want to see them look like. So everybody's costume, Steve's look, her look. I think that's what she was going for. Wolf. I think she was trying to go for the way she looked in the comic. So my thing is,
her look was definitely pushed forward. I agree. Her look is
Oh, yeah.
dramatically different from her previous appearance. Which is
Right.
what we're going for.
Also, this is also the case of the studio listening to the audience, because Captain America's costume in this one is definitely more updated, because in Avengers, everybody was complaining about his costume.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of cartoony.
Man looks skinny.
Yeah, it did. It was cartoony. I agree. I didn't like. I mean, he didn't look bad at it, but I was sitting there thinking, oh, they could have done a little bit better. Josh, come on, now take
This
him
one,
seriously.
he just looks bulky. But then again,
Yeah.
Chris Evans been
A
bulking up
lot
that
of it is
body.
the costume. A lot of it is
Well,
the costume.
must be the roids.
Yeah, and I mean, I think. Well, on this one,
I don't mind with me. They look good to me. I
he
like
was
that
definitely
costume.
on a cycle for Avengers. He was definitely on a cycle for Avengers. He had a 2-year period, so he could have been on the cycle right before this film. So,
Right? Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
But his
but I mean,
costume
like
in this.
what helped a lot. What helped a lot was the outfit. But this is actually one of my favorite opening montages in the whole entire movie.
I have to agree.
The dive. Yep.
Yeah.
The music
It
swelling.
gives it that special ops type of
Now,
feel.
point of
Chris
criticism here. I know this is a different shield. I don't like the blue on that shield.
I love the blue.
You want it
I
more
love
red?
the blue.
Yeah.
I wish it would stay red.
Well,
All the shields should have been
If you're doing
red,
a-
white, and blue.
Spy op, you're gonna freaking make sure that you don't stand out. Like you want to be able to blend in with the dark in the background.
That's
It
like
just looks weird.
That's like
I'm too much of a traditionalist. Sue
This
me.
is more like Splinter Cell type stuff. That's why I liked it.
Just
Yeah.
knocks him off the board. Well, get off my boat.
I call
And
this
here you
Super
got-
kick.
the
Yeah,
whip
a lot
ass
more
moment.
hand to hand. It's not
Like sweet chin music.
right. So
Pardon us for geeking out, guys. We're crisscrossing each other.
But what I
Yeah.
like about this is that they really are amping up the super soldier in him because, yes, from the
Yeah.
Avengers he fought aliens, but now you got to remember this is Captain America, the super soldier. So
And that's what the
Yeah,
Russos
definitely
definitely did in the interview. They brought up the fact that they wanted to really make sure Captain America's abilities were well utilized, unlike what Josh
Yeah.
Whedon did in Avengers. He really didn't take into consideration that Cap is supposed to be a super soldier. The fact that he takes
Right.
a parachute in Avengers, but this time he doesn't take a parachute. He dives into
Yeah.
almost a deep ocean, right? Comes back up,
Right.
no worse for wear.
but at the same time, I mean, he's. I
Yeah.
mean, in that film, he was coming into his powers. Here, he well
Yeah,
knows what they are. So, I mean, that's
Yeah,
the
it's like,
progression.
yeah, you can infer
Well,
that too.
well, Evan said
yeah,
in an
that first
interview.
act. Yeah, that
Evan,
first action scene almost feel like a martial arts film in some ways.
Well,
Go
that's
ahead,
the
He's
Leia.
thing.
going
There's a
around
lot of
beating
Hang
up
on, guys.
everybody.
Hang on. Go ahead, Leia.
Guys, you're not wrong. Evans did say in an interview, he and the directors wanted to basically amp up the action, really, and that's where maybe his shape probably was better because they put him on a new workout regime. He said, and also the fact that they wanted to really, really play up what he could do. So that meant different martial art moves, almost like Brian was said. Yeah, they really wanted to amp him up and show off his powers in this one, exactly the way you described it.
Now we passed up
Right.
we've already passed up a villain, a brief villain for the first half of this movie.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, he's irrelevant.
Shut up.
No one really talks about him. I mean, why are we even talking about a dude who like makes one appearance in Age of Ultron? And
That's the
I don't
reason.
work like that no more. He
That
has
is the
no
reason why
experience, he's making money.
I'm gonna bring up this point real quick. Back
So,
in my Black Panther rewrite, what we just spotted was Batroc the Leaper. Technically, that's his comic book supervillain name in the comics, but he goes by Batroc, right?
yeah.
So he was a
Right.
brief. So later on in this film, he's a brief character that gets away. He was going to be working for Claw in my Black Panther rewrite, so I wanted to bring him back to
Mhm.
conclude that.
that
That's
would
cool.
actually be pretty. That would actually be pretty cool, and it would also explain how the Avengers, especially in Age of Ultron, knew about Ulysses Claw because Nick Fury had a file on him.
Yeah, he would have been.
Oh yeah.
It would tie in this whole arms dealership.
Yeah, and would also explain why the charges against Nick Fury, which come later, would now make more sense. That he was going to sell the information to Ulysses.
I mean, if you're the idea man, Damien, I'm all ears. I would have brought him in too, just to not necessarily add to the roster, but just like make the villains big.
Well, that's
for
always
the-
been a thing for. Well, I should say Disney. That's been a thing for Disney. Disney does not know how to develop villains because again, this is a Disney release.
No.
Yeah,
Mm.
I did.
No.
What I also
he
like
does
about
not.
what I do like about this movie is that it also, yes, while they're improving Captain America, they're also improving Black Widow's character.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Oh yeah. Ooh, bitch slapped him with a pipe. Nice.
yeah. They really made her the much better in this film. I gotta agree there.
they could have gone down the cliched route, which I did see in that animated Avengers movie, where they were hooking up with Natasha, but I like this dynamic they went with. It showed that a movie did not need, a Captain America movie did not need to have a love interest take up a full portion of the movie.
Right.
Kind of like,
Right.
go ahead, Judge.
It is platonic partners are enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's interesting that this is coming out of the Disney studio, but they never made another movie as good as this. Like you said, Trooper, the tone, everything. Oh, I love this moment. It's quiet and wham. I love
Oh yeah.
that.
It's I mean, I do have my own opinions on that one.
But it's
Always
showing
mimic
how they're working. Like it shows Captain America leading a team and how he's able to run as a unit. But then it leads into
Here
one
comes
of the
Batroc's calling card.
Yep.
He kicks people in the face.
Boom tries to spin around and hit him, but he's already seeing boom, boom, trying to take him down. But Captain America's showing he's got the skill.
It's a great sequence, though. I mean, this opening
Mhm.
sequence is just like that's what got me through it. I'm like, wow, this is like
Love how he pumps his chest.
yeah.
I also
But it's a
love the
good way to
scene too.
set up the tone for the film as well. You know, let you know
Yeah.
that this is an
I don't need a
action
gun
film
to
and
kill
not
you,
some
Captain.
soap opera or
I don't
something.
need the
You know?
gun to kill you.
right, Brian.
And
Yeah.
here comes one of the best lines. I thought you were more than just a shield. And I love this. Cap decides, all right.
Yeah, yeah, I love that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like gloves are coming off now.
Yeah,
Or at least the mask.
yeah. But
Responds with,
yeah,
let's see if I am.
yeah,
Because that's basically what it shows about his character. He basically says, I'm willing to go down to your level to beat you.
and he says it in
Yep.
French too. He
Mhm.
says it in French too. Yeah.
Such
I
a
mean-
Batman
I love that
moment.
overhead kick right there, huh?
Mhm.
It's and when I said the same thing, I was like, wow, Cap's a badass in this one. Good, yeah.
Mhm.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
not Avenger.
Getting physical, just how I like it.
Yeah, me too. In my seat, that's what I was saying with the I'm like, he ain't playing no punches this time. Yeah,
No.
it's not. This is not.
Looks like a fighting game character right there, you know?
Simmer down, everybody. We're getting too excited. the
What do you
best
expect?
excitement
It's old school MCU.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, the best excitement is coming up pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying it because Black Widow was in her tight. I was gonna say I can let you fellas have your time with her and her tight.
She ain't the one I'm gonna be gushing in this movie.
Oh yeah. All right, I know already. So
And some great teamwork right there, by the way.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He just picked her up with one arm, too.
Yeah.
Well, she ain't nothing but Buck 05.
Yeah.
I bet you ScarJo was very appreciative of that back then. But we're not gonna get into
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We're not gonna get
Yes.
into that.
At this point in filming, she's suppressed. So you know,
I do love
she's
that.
dating being compared to a sex object. So
The Black Widow
right?
suffragette.
Like I guess I'm like whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we're not gonna get into that. I'm sorry to bring that up.
No
I
problem.
do love,
Yeah.
just to take it back a little bit. I do notice. Did you guys notice that her eye roll right there was not so much an eye roll of frustration, but it's like, dang it! And here I thought we were actually making progress.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yes, it is.
Well, I gotta say honestly, like as far as like this film itself,
Great shot.
it's Samuel L. Jackson and Robert Redford that actually really lend legitimacy to this film.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
I agree.
definitely.
Oh, I agree.
You know,
'Cause this is
regardless of
great-
what everybody thinks about as far as Chris Evans being an actor or whatever, that's
This scene right here is basically
the whole
pragmatism
point
versus
is
idealism.
You don't
Yeah.
get actors like this later on in subsequent iterations of the MCU. You just don't. So
Well, guys,
Yeah.
what Trooper? I called this the Superman, the Richard Donner Superman effect. For you kiddies out there, the first film, Christopher Reeve is the newcomer, but the heavyweights playing Jor-El and Lex Luthor is
Brando and
Brando and
And
Gene
Gene
Hackman. And Marlon Brando at that time was riding a huge train with The Godfather. He had just won an Oscar, and Gene Hackman. Those were two of your best actors in that decade. So the same method is here. You've got Jackson and you've got Redford, and then you have Chris Evans, who's not at their level, but those are the heavyweights you need to play those heavyweight characters. So I call that the Richard Donner effect, and I say, as I saw the Professor Stream, that works. That formula works right down to this day. You put the heavyweights.
That it does.
Yeah, you put the heavyweights in those roles to surround, because to some people, Evans is still a new face. Some people, maybe younger than myself, or whatever, still don't know who Evans is. So,
That's true.
Yeah, they still don't know him. So you need heavyweights to give him that support. So it's in some ways, this is not say the first Avenger, but this is almost like it's almost like his part one is Steve, but it's just how the Russo set it up.
he ain't Firestorm. He ain't Human Torch in this one.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
completely erased that.
But at this point, Disney hadn't even acquired 20th
This
Century
is-
Fox.
But just to get back to what was saying, I'm sorry, I wanted to say this, sorry. But
ahead.
back to what they were saying about pragmatism versus idealism, but then you hear Nick Fury's story, And while it does have a bit of pragmatism, there is very much an undercurrent of cynicalness.
And that's
And he sums up that philosophy right there when he says that I love people, but I don't trust them. And that, and
Oh yeah, I
of
like
course,
that story about his granddad.
yeah. And that's where Nick's philosophy comes in too. He's saying it doesn't matter if you're friends or allies. If you're a friend or an ally, I have a contingency for you. And he's unapologetic about it.
And he's
That's
the
kind of
opposite.
like the
And that's
sorry, Leia.
Go ahead.
That's kind of like the idea when he explains his granddad's mentality, his position in that time. That's kind of like the attitude I adopted too. It's like we can be, you come friendly, I'll stay friendly. But if you come looking for a fight, then best be prepared to have a fight.
And Scooty, back to you say, and then I'll
Go
guys
ahead,
let you
Leia.
have it. I'll guys let you have it. What you described Nick Fury is the total 100% opposite of Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers believes in people. He believes in people, and as this movie goes forward, we'll see that, and then it really shows.
Exactly. I like that too, because throughout the entire movie, he still has this unshakable faith. Everybody's kind of either bullying him or talking down to him for having that naive outlook on life. And even what I love about this scene where he's driving off right now after the meeting with Nick Fury and going to the museum. This is the moment in aspirational hero stories where kind of the aspirational hero is having their moment of doubt. They can have these. That's what most people don't understand. They can have doubts about their convictions.
Well,
they have a doubt, but they can never do a 180 on everything.
Hang on, Brian. Hang on, everybody. Go ahead, Trooper.
Well, I was going to say, and herein lies the thing. While we want to go ahead and put all these people on altars, one thing you got to remember is Disney was in the process of acquiring this as of 2009. So, more or less, the last film to be distributed under Paramount was Avengers. At that point, as far as films went, Iron Man's arc was already completed.
Steals.
It was already completed, so you did need someone else to more or less carry the tentpole for the next phase to continue what the Russos more or less had already invested, writing into. So a lot of this was already well written out. But again, with Iron Man's arc already being completed, who else was going to carry it?
Cycle.
I mean, and you can kind of see why they needed to write it in such a way to kind of keep people interested as well, because clearly it wasn't going to be Thor that was going to be carrying this phase. Subsequently, Thor doesn't carry anything until about Ragnarok, and now we're starting to see that now they're focusing on Thor. So,
yeah,
you talk a lot of shit, but you damn.
Yeah.
I would go ahead, Scooty.
Oh no, go ahead, Lady of Valor.
No. Oh, I was just gonna say when he gets on his bike, like you said, Scooty, we saw about a few minutes ago, and he drives off. I called that the Luke Skywalker staring at the sun moment in Star Wars. You know, in Star Wars, where Luke goes out after he's had this conversation with.
Sunset.
The
Hang
binary
on.
sunset.
Let's take a moment real quick, Leia, to appreciate that there's a mother and her daughter admiring Peggy Carter.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, you can see it like that, or you can see it as a pro-feminist moment.
That too.
Well, it's trying to show that Peggy Carter is not gone nor forgotten. And most importantly, perfect segue, by the way, how critical she is to Steve's life. I mean, this right here is when he's allowing to show his more vulnerable side to the only person now who really knew him before all this, and essentially his last real link to his past.
And she's in a bad state of Alzheimer's.
Exactly. But but here he admits why he joined S.H.I.E.L.D. and why he's willing to keep going. It's more so to preserve her legacy and the legacy of Howard Stark and those, because we don't know what happened yet. He doesn't know what's happened yet.
Yeah, right. He doesn't know. Yeah.
And that's why he's doing it. And even Peggy right here, in not so many ways, kind of reaffirmed his convictions, especially when she says, we rather mucked it up the time that you were able to save. He says, You didn't muck it up. It's just, I joined Shield because of you. It's clear that
Right.
they've lost. Peggy's telling them we've just lost our way.
Yeah, that's basically what this scene says, and I agree with all of you. I think that it's his character to stay in touch with her, even now that she is in, advanced old age, and in the Civil War she passes on. At this point, she's pretty much, older, and what everybody has in human life, but that's who he is. I think it's sweet. I think it's very sweet. I do, that he's still there for her, because doesn't abandon her because she's now old and gray and feeble. She's not the vibrant woman he remembers as most of us as humans. He still looks at her as if she was that bright woman that he knew so long ago. That didn't change just because she physically has. So I think it's sweet. Yeah.
And it's tragic too, as she's crying, because it's as if she's seeing him again, and he has to, and he has to deal with that.
Well, what I find pretty interesting is that the screenplay, of course, was written by Christopher Marcus, and Stephen McFeely also did the screenplay for Endgame. So, I mean, it just tells you that creatively they were burnt out, because I mean, all those
definitely,
all those dead ends and all those we're gonna give him.
I don't think they were
all
creatively.
That stuff. I mean, that was all. I mean, I would like to say that they had more than enough time in the world to kind of figure out what's the best way to end this particular decade of Marvel, but I think at the same time they're like, look, they've been doing it for 10 years. To them, it doesn't really matter. 10 years in, you're burnt out. You're like, yeah, that's fine. He gets his dance, whatever. I mean, he gets, it's a different ending in the comics, and I'm sure they're looking at it that way. And then you have fans that are like, oh, that's not Captain. Like, well,
I was one of them. No,
it is now. So
it's not to me. I'm not going to argue here, but we're watching the film. But I am one of those people that felt that was not
The council
true.
is no longer shadowed in this one, not like what it was in Avengers.
Well, true. Again, none of that really has any weight in the scene. It all really comes back to Robert.
I'm just admiring that detail. That's all.
He literally legitimized the film. Like, if
But,
anyone.
but what I also find interesting is that the Security Council, while they're there, they're not really there. Kind of essentially showing
holograms.
But they're not. But kind of showing how truly showing how really empty their authority is. And since Robert Redford's character is the only real physical presence there, and you know who he is, he's clearly the one who's actually doing the work. And what's right behind him? The globe. And you
Can we just take a moment to appreciate Robert Redford's acting on display? That man can talk me into an interview and take the job.
Yeah.
Well,
if he came to my house, I'm gonna lay this down right now. This man came to my house offering me a job to work at maybe a warehouse, or if he sells it really good, I'm taking the job. The man got charisma, is all I'm saying.
And for anyone who's in the chat, if you don't already have a copy of Spy Game with Robert Redford and Brad Pitt, you should. One of those films that's very reminiscent of just the type of style that he shows here.
And 3 Days of the Condor, which was made when he was young, was made in the 70s. Even though I was in diapers when that movie came out, that's when it was when his star was starting to rise in Hollywood.
Man, if that man ran for president, I'd vote for him in a heartbeat.
Well, he did run for president in Watchmen.
Like, Morgan Freeman's a cool movie president.
I also like how they establish how likable Pierce is, because he's willing to give Nick Fury his ear and listen, and he's going to delay it, and he says, okay, I'll delay it, but you got to get Iron Man to stop by my house. This is like...
Not fly by this time.
Of course, we learn later he's got his own agenda.
That's an all-inclusive Veterans Affairs.
Yeah, you can't make this film in 2021.
No, you cannot. Not
you got lays in there, black folk, Mexicans, all colors of the rainbow in there. All flavors. All flavors of chocolate in there, even vanilla.
Yes, it's Disney. So I was just. Go ahead, Trooper.
I was going to say the one thing that I think Leia and I are pretty much in consensus is that they don't really explore Falcon and also Captain America in terms of this dialogue and this relationship they're having as quote unquote fallen war heroes, if you will.
Veterans,
More or less having to fight for their country. They don't go further than this film. So
Oh, that's
what
one
that
criticism.
relationship looks like. The next time we see Falcon is, gosh,
Avengers briefly,
little-
Avengers
briefly in Age of Ultron. Yeah,
Yeah.
briefly in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then a little guest spot on in Ant-Man. So
They were trying to sell that universe being connected in each movie, so they had to have at least like a bit cameo for any character here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
well, all Sony could
Yeah.
afford was Anthony Mackie. So
But what's also really cool in that scene with him and Captain America and Sam is that Sam has a moment where that's his wingman Riley. That was his Bucky moment, and
well,
Right.
okay.
immediately connected with him.
Here's the thing, freaking Schooner and I were getting into this diatribe in the back room before this whole thing started, and he was going on about being an optimist, and we all bleed red. That relationship of Falcon and Captain America, that to me, I would explore that.
I'm calling police brutality on this one.
Rodney King moment
In
there.
2021.
No
Actually, this is pretty
BLM?
cool. This is pretty cool because we get to see like the type of tech that the Shield has.
Harassment.
Okay,
I
FLM.
see harassment. Well, would you like some excessive force then?
Step out of the
but
vehicle, George. Step out of the
but
vehicle.
this is how you build up tension because first
Yeah.
he's attacked by cops, and then his radio says that dispatch shows no police units in this
Yeah.
area. Which means he's like, "Holy crap, this is a professional assassination."
Oh yeah. Like here
Pretty
with
much.
the film, we're barely starting to see the tentacles of what's really going on. It's like
Mhm.
Big
the
ass
viewers
power
are still
around.
slightly perplexed as to
Oh,
what's
yeah.
actually happening.
Yep.
So and I like that. I like that misdirection here. So
Yeah. It's
Oh,
I
great.
agree, I agree with you guys. This is a great segment. This moment is really set really good.
Well, yeah, this is tense. You really
Yeah.
think you're gonna kill him right in that very scene?
Yeah.
Window integrity 31% before performing countermeasures.
Delay that order.
Play that order.
well, I'm,
man.
still waiting for his shaft moment here because it's like it's Samuel L. and it's like then you get this. You're like pat.
Yeah,
Pass
guys.
the righteous man, bitches.
Like yeah.
I gotta get me one of those.
Yep.
So his car.
I will
that's
strike
why-
down upon thee with great fury, with great vengeance and furious anger, those who attempt to destroy my beautiful car. And you will know my name is the law when I lay my vengeance upon ye.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It is. I love the bit that when he says just wait for the window integrity at 1%, then just immediately unleashes hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The way you do it, man.
Yeah, that's the way you do it. It was
Usos know their
perfect.
stuff. And this was
Yeah.
what, their first movie?
Yes. This was their first feature-length film. They were working in television before this.
What's really sad is they don't really explore Maria Hill too much.
Yeah, I would have
Like-
liked to see more of her.
I would have liked to have seen more of Fury and Maria Hill. I mean, the chemistry there between Samuel L., being Fury and, almost having like a number two, like almost like your Picard and Riker type of situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Who's up for bumper cars here?
You're right about Maria Hill, Trooper. I wanted more of her. We get a little bit of her in Avengers. We really got a lot of her in Ultron.
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And I didn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so you'll have to give me information on that. I didn't watch that. But in
She
the
was a
film,
prominent character in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Same with Fury.
I just wish they were in the films more. I didn't see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I didn't watch it that much, so I can't comment on
yeah,
that.
you don't really get a lot of Kobe Smulders. I mean, Kobe Smulders is really nice to look at on screen. And they used her sparingly, and I was like, well, that's a waste.
She take no crap either.
So,
Boy, they're really going at him here.
well, it's
Yeah.
the same with
Oh, yeah.
And I
see
just
with
the brutality and the sheer brutality of this. It's like they do not care about the civilians; they want to kill him.
No.
And Fury's even showing like his utter disregard for civilians. He's driving in between the cars. He's moving behind the buses. Because this is
Who
about
says, who says he's in disregard? He's
guy's
up
trying
out of
to
the
kill
way
him, so
they can protect themselves.
exactly. Well, but that's the thing, though, too, is that Fury is just trying to survive. This is an assassination attempt on him. Clearly, he knows something. He's judging the situation dispassionately. He's judging the situation purely by logic. I have information. Clearly, somebody does not want to get out. I got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm. He's still holding the
gonna fight like hell to do it too.
Yeah.
It is kind of violent for an MCU film compared to Phase 1. And I'm not complaining. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Tony Stark is done and over with. Like, at this point, we're not getting any more RDJ that we know of. You know what I mean? In terms of any more solo scandal.
Oh, man.
Big reveal.
Really
The big bad
first glimpse of Bucky right there.
Yeah,
big daddy reveal.
Yeah, I knew who he was. I was like a lot of you. I was familiar with this storyline, but as soon as I saw him, and the sound that's his score is great. I love it when he's on screen and you get his score. Yeah.
Do a good job of hiding him though.
Yeah.
His identity.
Yeah, that costume.
He's just walking with a purpose right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. They introduced him is great
There's
too.
his lightsaber.
Yep.
Yeah. A blowtorch.
It's got Fury spooked. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's spooked. I would be spooked too if I saw that walking towards me. I'm like, oh, get me! I gotta get out of here.
I was like, that's a good weave on him. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think most people would be spoiling themselves if they ever had to deal with somebody like that in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They already set him apart from all the other assassins. He first introduces himself. What does he do? He blows up the car. The means of transportation that he's been using to get away from the attack.
Hang on, guys. Hang on.
Here we go.
We have to give Wolf's moment. Stop that! You stop that!
Pay attention, guys. Pay attention.
Might be cheaper than the basement. So,
Be nice.
Can we just appreciate the moment that Cap just gave her a euphemism for sex?
Hello, nurse.
Yeah.
Wait, whoa! Wait a minute, guys. What are you talking about? This is a nice little basket.
He's a gentleman. He asked.
That's like the last thing on his mind.
Thank you,
No. Did you not check her reaction?
Uh-huh.
All he said was he wanted to get her for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You must forgot about Luke Cage, did y'all?
I didn't watch it.
I've not seen Luke Cage myself.
Did you see her reaction to it? Normally, if she was anybody else, she would have insinuated what he meant, but she would have gone with that insinuation. But because she knows it's Captain America, a centuries-old soldier, he's genuine with that comment.
Yeah, that's what I read. I would have reacted the same way too.
But if you were like me, who watched Luke Cage, you would know why she reacted the way she did.
First of all, he wasn't offering her a cookie. Let's get that one right. Second of all, that's like, her like
fraternization, but
nah, like we don't even know. Like it's such a messed up ending, but we don't get enough Emily Van Camp throughout the first 10 years. Really don't.
So you impressed me, Leia, because I thought you would have gotten that, you being a woman of your time.
No, because she's like busy like drooling with Chris Evans and the fact that you can wash a whole load of laundry.
Nah, she's growling at Emily Van Camp because she got that close to him.
No.
She's staring daggers at her.
Wait a minute. Stop that. Stop.
Don't you dare come near my cat.
You are naughty.
Yeah.
I
ain't the one with the mean girl gene in me.
I'm not being mean. I was
kidding.
I always wondered because I know we're.
Oh no! Here it comes.
I know where we're going scene wise, but I always wondered if they used Project Tahiti on this dude as well. That never was answered. So
Project Tahiti.
yeah,
It's Agent Shield reference.
it's
Oh,
a
see,
yeah.
see, I didn't watch Agents of Shield on a regular basis, so some of the things I missed, I'll have to go back and catch it on Disney Plus or something like
Oh my
that.
God,
Moral
now.
of the story. Moral of the story. That's how Coulson gets brought back.
Oh, okay.
And then,
Ah,
and here we kind of see something similar with Nick Fury,
Mhm.
but it's like, oh, I was alive all the time. If
He
you haven't
explains
seen this
it.
movie yet, if you haven't seen this movie yet, you're like almost
Oh, I love
near a
this scene.
decade
Oh,
behind. So
Got your
there's
red,
no
white, and blue
spoilers.
shield back, man.
This was actually a cool
I
action.
love this moment. Yes, I do. I love
Parkour,
him jump
bitches.
out the window.
This,
Mhm.
Can I just say, for old time's sake, Jordan
Yes.
score!
Obviously, that's not Chris Evans doing that.
well, this reminds
Of
me
course.
of
Don't matter. I
like,
still love the
older
busted.
techniques. Like it reminds
Oh,
me
I
of
mimic this scene all the time.
action films.
And
Ooh,
catch.
good catch.
Yeah, I love this
Team of
Here you
moment.
go,
frisbee
bro.
right here.
I'll call you later for shots.
Yep, bro. Cat.
Be like,
I love-
are you? You're my Yowie, bro.
Okay.
But
Well, people said when we saw this with family, it was a shock because they said it's more of a shock to Cap because
what
nobody
what I
should
love
catch that
about
Hang
shield.
on, hang on. Go ahead, Leia.
Nobody should be able to catch that shield like that but him. So Cap is thinking,
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this and knock this guy out. Then he turns around and catches it with one hand. Cap is kind of shocked himself. Like, nobody
yeah.
can do that but me. Nobody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
the
he's,
guy has a cyber arm as well.
yeah. So I think he's stunned because
That was
where
a money shot from the trailer, by the way.
yes, I have to agree that when I saw that, I'm like, wow, this looks like this is going to be different. I like this.
Mm-hmm. They
Yep.
ended on that high note. I was like, oh, I'm ready to watch this.
Yeah, that's the way I was too.
Look, I mean, it's someone who can match the Cap, basically.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like,
Mo.
nobody catches that shield with one hand with accuracy like that because Cap was throwing it like I'm gonna knock him off this roof, and then he turns around and catches it and then throws it back. And if you guys notice how it pushed him, the force pushed him back.
Yeah.
Did you
I got a
notice that?
question.
Yeah.
I got a question for everybody. Did any of you guys really believe that Fury was dead?
I kind of did when I first watched it.
I thought that they might kill him off to bring him back in some other form, but
I agree.
Again,
I
I
felt the same. I was like, holy, whoa. Is Fury gonna die? He can't die. No. Fury doesn't die.
well, I mean,
And then when he dies, I'm like,
looking
oh no, what's gonna happen now?
looking at where we were, I mean,
Way better than Optimus' death and Revenge of the Fallen.
It's
Oh,
like looking at where we were.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
there wasn't like up to that point, there wasn't anything like this. I mean, the Dark World was not like this.
Mm-mm.
So,
And that was one
it's
of the
like,
things and that was also one of the things that I loved, the scene where he says, "Just my friends," and Captain America looks at Captain America looks at Fury, and he goes, "Is that what we are, friends?" Especially after that little the last time they talked was in that elevator, and he's like going, "Are we really friends, or are you just messing with me again?"
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
come to think of it, in terms
Can
of
we also appreciate that Fury did a good job of
dying,
masking their conversation,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
and Cap immediately picked up on that.
hmm
Yes.
well, I mean, at this point, in terms of Marvel, we knew Mark Ruffalo had signed a 6-movie deal.
Nobody cares about the biz logistics trooper.
You know what? Honestly, I got
Yeah.
a point. So, the thing is like, okay, so in the first phase, we got to meet like Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk. So up to this point, I didn't know where they were going to go next because
Right.
Iron Man's arc was
Yeah.
done. I knew we were kind of maybe be getting a little bit more heavily into Iron Man. Like Thor: The Dark World was good, but it wasn't
So
like
far.
okay. It wasn't like this is going to be the hero who's going to be carrying this phase. So it really did feel like it was going to be Captain America carrying this particular phase.
He had to because he was the leader of the Avengers.
And
yeah, I agree.
like
Wolf.
in retrospect,
Yeah.
like as far as like each hero's film, because with the exception of Hulk, they've all gotten a trilogy, more or less, like the core heroes.
Okay, I got really derail the top. That was a dumb place to hide that thing.
Oh yeah.
What else could he
A
have
vending
done?
machine.
A kid would saw that as a toy and try to get that thing, try to get their look. Not that I say that any parent
That's
will be
another.
bringing their kids around that place, but I'm just saying.
Well,
Like,
but see, it fits in though with the context of the movie because Nick Fury says Shield is compromised the next minute he's dead, and then you got Black Widow telling him he's a terrible liar. So it's basically he's on the spot. He has to make a decision, so he makes a fast.
Yeah, that was an on-the-spot decision.
Yeah, he really had no choice, Wolf. It was. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Scooty, but he really was in a jam.
I'm lenient. I'm just saying it's still a dumb place to hide it.
Well, I mean, he could have put it somewhere
Like, it's
else. There weren't any
completely-
metal detectors, but
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's so obvious, but like you could have found somewhere else to put it.
Well, as we
it's a
see,
trope, dude. It's a
as
trope.
the movie as it
I
goes
know.
on, we see somebody must have been thinking like you, Commander, because they found it. So
At least you know you won't get cavity searched or something.
Well. Let's
Oh
put it
my
this way.
God! You went there, Brian.
I mean,
Oh my God.
let me put it
Good
this way.
resist, man.
Hang on, guys. Go ahead,
what-
Tripper.
What's a haha moment is the next time you see a vending machine isn't until Doctor Strange. So,
Mhm.
so
But
That's
what I
it.
love. Go ahead, Leia.
no, I was just going to say back to just really quick when you said about thinking Nick Fury. At first, I thought Nick Fury was dead and somehow Tony was going to come in and take over. But I wrote the train of the movie. I said maybe somewhere he'll come back to life. But go ahead, Scooty.
This is the moment that I really like too because it made me realize that I don't think Pierce is who he says he is. Now, granted, I did not.
Who's tapping something?
I'm not, but they're shooting
yeah.
fireworks outside my window. So I'll put
Oh,
my
is that
window
what
there.
that is?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
shooting
fireworks here too.
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause, they're what? It's what 8:30, 9:30 over there.
Yes, it's 9:30 where I'm at.
Yeah,
Same.
they're not gonna start doing that here for another 2 hours.
Yeah, on my end, it sounds like somebody tapping on a desk.
They are They're pretty.
Yeah.
They're doing a fine job. I'm not too far from a little playground from
I'm
my
glad
window.
I mean, I got a
You
fountain
guys
to get
are
rid
popping
of.
fireworks in Michigan.
I got a fountain to get rid of. I'll probably light it this year.
Cause over here in San Diego right now, we a bunch of pussies.
Oh, I think it's
Oh,
hard
I
to
mean,
get
we
rid of.
get bold, we get bold, but the only thing you hear is boom. No. I mean, the fireworks is elsewhere, but you gotta travel elsewhere to see them pop.
Well,
But I'm talking about like
that's all right.
neighborhood fireworks. You know
later
what I'm
on
saying?
tonight, later on tonight,
can I
the
just,
essays will be freaking popping their guns here in Vegas. That's usually how they do it.
Mhm.
I hate that, but whatever.
I
Can I
think it's
derail this can I derail this just for a second? I just love that scene where Robert Redford's character goes and looks out on Washington. And it's like almost a real, if you look at, there's a reflection there, there's a two-sided, like showing the two faces of his character. Which I didn't know until later on.
Hang on, Leia. All right, go ahead. What you want to say, Leia?
Oh, I was going to agree with Scooney to his comment later on. Yeah, Scooney, I agree with you at this point when in this scene, when he starts to talk, we start to believe that Pierce may not be all that he seems. And I think Steve is picking up on it too. I don't know, just by the look on Steve's face, I think he's picking up on it too. Fury told him trust no one, but I think at this point Steve is trying to pick picking up on it as well. And then I was going to say
agree with that.
Yeah.
Agree with that because at this point it's obvious that there's a lot more going on in Shield than meets the eye at that point.
Yeah, and I love this subtle threat to him too. He says, "Captain, somebody murdered my friend. I'm going to find out why any way I'm going to get through anyone." And that's a low key threat. He's basically telling him that walk out that door without telling me right now. I'm coming after you.
Yeah, that's
basically
what
I'm
it is.
hunting your
the
butt now.
elevator scene.
Yeah.
Pretty much
this is gonna be
another
good.
one of the high points in the film. First one being
love this badass moment.
Yeah.
Love
I
this
also love
rocks.
this
freaking
Three crossbones, Romolo.
really echo.
They bait Frank Grillo into doing this film, and then they literally give him like 2 minutes in Age of Ultron. But I
Yep.
mean,
Hey, Civil War.
he has his own series now on Hulu, so I guess it's not as bad.
You mean Civil War? Civil War is
Oh,
when
yeah,
he is
Civil
at
War,
the beginning.
Civil War,
yeah.
yeah.
And they kill
Every
him off.
day, I die and I die again. But now I'm gonna break that cycle. I'm getting sick and tired of that damn ad.
Homebrew
At this
is
point,
Yeah.
look, much love to Frank Grillo, but that damn ad is getting on my nerves every time. I
Homebrew is in
freaking
his
view.
50s, and he's
Oh, yeah.
juiced too, but he looks good. So
Bruh is rivaling Stephen Lang at this point.
yeah.
Yeah.
This whole scene, this is a classic, if not one of the top Marvel moments, but one of the top Cap moments.
Can we also appreciate
think-
he was the best character in the Purge Anarchy?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was the only character I was really interested in knowing where his story was going to end.
Then he showed up in Purge election.
And then I'm
year.
like, this.
I
dude-
love how he sees the sweat on his coming off his forehead.
Yeah.
That he's like saying
Yep.
something ain't right here. Something ain't. He's
You know,
already sick.
Yeah.
what I love about
Yeah.
this is that he knows what this is, and he's like on okie dokie.
And then we get this classic line.
Well, at this point,
Yeah.
he's like, I guess.
I love
Yep.
this classic line.
Get started. Does that
Yeah.
mean-
I love that. I walked out.
Oh yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Panther stunt double was in the elevator too.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
To do
And
the flip. To do the
I bet
flips.
I bet you his stunt double didn't have to show his feet.
He fell asleep once the shooting was done too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll point out when it comes up. He admitted that he fell asleep there.
Oh yeah.
There's like a few actors in this film that they didn't do anything with, and it's like, you know, in retrospect, it's like you have all this content.
There he is, right there,
Yep.
Yeah.
right there.
Where he just rips that magnet off
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I remember that scene. I remember that scene too.
Yeah. Did you guys-
I love it.
Yeah.
Man flipped him.
Dual wielding.
Yeah. Well, he also
I
showed.
think, honestly,
I watched it.
Frank
I
is
watched.
still a little natty in this one.
Oh,
Because,
Yeah.
right to the ceiling.
because by like Civil War, he doesn't
like-
look natty anymore. So
What you'll say later?
Bang,
There he
zoom
is,
to
right there in
moon.
the left corner, the bottom right. He's snoring. Just passed out on the floor.
I love how he picked up the shield. Like, yeah, that's right. You ain't gonna take me out. That's right. Try to take me down.
He seriously banked on those breaks to work because he didn't want those guys to die either.
That's the way you think. Wolf, I was going to say online, Chris had
This
put
is,
up a video of him practicing this moment. It was so
this
cool.
is
Yeah.
yeah, this
rehearsing
is
it.
one of my favorite selections from the soundtrack. Lemurian Star. It gets played a lot throughout the film.
One way to break your fall.
I love it. I agree with you, Trooper. I love the score for this moment.
Yeah.
Like I said, they had him. I
I
like the
mimicked
way
this scene too.
you mimicked.
There's There's a lot of scenes I mimic because I love the scene so well that it causes me to mimic the scene.
Yeah.
I've been like this since I child, and I ain't stopped since then.
Oh, I love this moment coming up
hear
too,
it.
where he takes down this jet. That is just totally.
Oh, yeah.
Doing this thing. Here it comes.
Yeah, that's some like video game level shit right there, you know?
Gotta
Big
work.
flying neck, you know?
I love it, Brian. I do. With the score
It's
too.
fantastic. Throw it.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Oh, that's a good.
Flip, grab,
Yeah, this whole moment. Yeah,
watch the QTE
No,
buttons
pieces of
come
it.
up.
this whole moment.
Press A, press B, press X,
Yeah.
Tap.
He took down
press
a
Y to
jet.
dismount,
Yep.
and that's the end of chapter 1 of game.
Took down the jet in
Pretty
such a way
much.
pilot
And don't
would
get-
survive.
And push the shield right in front of the. Love this. I'm like, he took down. I said it in the theater too. I was like, this movie just took down a jet. This guy is
DCAU
mad.
moment right there. That's like complete DCAU.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Listen to this peanut head jackass talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also,
Biscuit,
it's
biscuit bald-headed mofo.
Yes.
Dang it,
What I
dang it,
love
Brian.
too
Why you
is-
gotta ruin the moment?
What I
Yeah.
love about the scene, though, is that it's also showing the present day and what Captain America is now against, because all this technology.
Funny
And
that they mentioned Twitter.
yep, and
Yep.
and this is perfectly setting up what we're going to find out when we see Zola, and we see it's so hard for Captain America to get through all this alone.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where
Yeah.
Black Widow comes in.
Exactly, because he needs somebody
Black
who helps.
Shadow.
Like I said, stupid thing to hide.
Hi, guys. I'm
Well,
still surprised.
Hey.
well, she must have been thinking like you, Wolf, because that's where she must have been thinking the same
No,
thing.
you freeze, bitch. Now reach over the counter, give me some bubblicious. And Skittles.
So true.
Yeah, so true. But she must have been thinking like you that. Now, where would Steve hide it? Oh, yeah, the vending machine, of course. She's Black Widow. She can find it.
Face
I
it,
do
Steve.
like
She
this.
got you pegged.
I like this scene though
Right.
because he has it, and now he's basically like, okay, no, I don't know who to trust, and this is where I really love it because he decides to take a leap of faith and trust
The little sister.
Well, this is where you get more of a spy versus spy moment. So
You also have to remember, guys, that he can break her neck. So even though she's Black Widow, she's kind of like, okay, I'll tell you, because I know he gonna break my neck, so I better say something.
don't break my neck. I still haven't got my own film yet.
Right.
Probably would have got us a lot sooner if he did.
They would have brought her back, man.
Because when he shoves up against that wall, that was a pretty hard shove. I saw this like it's almost like she would say, "Ow!" I know I wasn't like, "Ow!" That was a pretty hard shove. So
funny enough, the Womans didn't even scream about that.
yeah,
Well,
It's misogyny. It's
Again,
chauvinistic.
2014.
I know, motherfucker. Damn.
We're still dealing with 44 at this point.
Put your finger away while you sitting over there wagging at me.
No.
What's great about the scene, though, too, is that Black Widow basically tells him a spy ghost story, something that would even be what most spies are afraid of. Like, the Winter Soldier, an assassin, somebody who, if you're on his radar, you're dead.
I really want a steak. I want a steak. I'm kind of hungry already.
And I love the scene where what is
someone
Steve
say
Rogers?
steak?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the 4th. I'm like, I don't know if I want cook.
Oh, cakes and pie. I loves me some cakes and pie.
Nah, I don't eat that stuff.
what were you about to say, Scooty?
I'm just saying that his only response to the Winter Soldier threat was, "All right, let's just find out what the ghost wants."
Yeah, so he hasn't been spooked yet. In other words,
Yeah.
when she tells him the ghost story, he hasn't been spooked yet. That's his character. You know, he's not that spooked yet.
Man, he should have played Daredevil since he's the man without fear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now they're trying to find out what's up. Find out what's on that memory disc there.
That's why he needs her, because she knows the technology and he doesn't know it. He doesn't have it.
Yeah.
It sure did avoid the product placement here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
This could've been-
store. Yeah.
This could easily have been
Like
a
an
Starbucks
apple.
too.
I love
Oh yeah.
looking conspicuous, but these are guys like Captain America beat up in an elevator, so they all have noticeable marks on them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's your
Yeah.
product right there, right on the T-shirt. So.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm. I spoke too soon,
Yeah.
dude. You getting increasingly close. You need to be in arm's length, man.
Who the employee there? Oh
Yeah.
That's it. Can I help you guys with
Yeah.
anything?
Arms length and no closer.
You're far too close, man.
Here's my number. Call me.
I don't even get that close to my customers at my movie theater.
I don't get that close to anyone. Period.
I don't get that close. I tell them not to do that, even if I am in a. I was in an AT&T, and I don't think they got that close to me when I was looking at laptops.
That's something that would probably happen in Texas, man. They don't have a real concept of what a 7-foot person.
I like these interactions with a Cap and Black Widow here. They're pretty funny.
Yeah, they
So
are.
they just
Yeah, that's the shippers did not shut up about it either.
yeah.
Okay, we got all these
Then
guys
again, what is
really
I
fast
was gonna say? When
maneuver.
do
I'm gonna
shippers
get
ever
away.
shut up about anything? You know?
Mm-mm.
They actually topped freaking Minority Report in this scene.
Kiss
All
me.
the
What?
shippers, yeah. So she's, but that's well, you're not going to see it in the new movie. I'll tell you that now. No, none of that.
I
She
feel
can't
oppressed.
execute it.
I feel so oppressed.
She gave consent, dumbasses.
Did it?
Like, hey, by
No, she
being
didn't. The
regressed.
director made her. The director made her do it. Like
She
that's
has no
the-
agency in this scene. Like, bitch, it's a fucking movie. Oh wait, stop, hang on. Before y'all say anything,
Hmm?
can we just appreciate how she, like a little sister, dropped that leg down, and we just admire that leg of hers?
Yeah.
Mhm.
so
I can
oppressed.
respect it.
So
Can we
oppressed.
admire that turkey
So
leg that
oppressed.
just went down? Yeah, I
Yep.
see. My eyes is
Yep.
on Sharon Carter in this movie, but I will concede that was a nice turkey leg that went down.
I was just tripping on the fact she
Mhm.
just basically told him he's a bad kisser.
Well,
That's
probably.
basically what she just said. Is that your first? I'm like,
He had 2 kisses.
yeah.
If we keep in count,
That counts as number. Yep, exactly.
he did kiss Marjorie. Well, Marjorie kissed him.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Marjorie. Oh yeah, Marjorie.
Marjorie
And then,
Tyrell.
yeah, she did. But then he gave one to Sharon Carter in not Sharon, excuse me, in First Avenger, he gave one to Peggy. Yeah, so that's a smooch.
I ain't kissing you.
Yeah. But Black Widow was like basically saying, "Is that your first kiss?" I'm like, "Oh, Natasha."
The only thing that really
She didn't
sucks.
say that
is
to. She didn't
when
say that to Bruce.
I just wonder how awkward you feel to kiss your little sister, Cap. I just want to know just
Well,
how
Well,
awkward
because remember when she, because
your little
remember when
sister.
they're on the escalator,
That-
he was clearly uncomfortable because she says, "Kiss me," and he goes, "Excuse me." She goes, "Public displays of affection make other people uncomfortable," and he goes, "Yes, they do."
It's making him feel uncomfortable. You're my sister, dude.
Yeah.
What? That's
Pretty
your
much.
sister, dude.
No,
I know I'm
yeah.
harping on the
Young
sister
Justice.
thing, but that their
you
banter
are.
is.
You are, because I never got that from the.
Shut up.
I
Shut
never got
up.
that.
Oh.
That's you, Trooper. But that's my vibe when every time I see them just arguing and bantering like that.
Well,
Now,
Yeah.
the shippers thought they were falling in love, like you said. So they were.
I just
Those
like
shippers are
y'all
brain dead
arguing
anyway.
like a big brother and little sister. That's just how me
That's
and
what I
my
love
sister
about the
banter each
Russo
other.
brothers, that they cut that off before anything could ever. It's a theory, and then they decide to nip it in the bud almost immediately when she asks him, "Who do you want me to be?" And he goes, "How about just be a friend?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, a good line. Yeah, I like the way that was. Yeah, she said, "You want me to be?" I think because what she's used to as a spy, I'm sure she's had to sleep with a lot of guys she don't want to. She has to become what they want her to be in order.
Oh
to
yeah, all we gotta do is
Well,
watch Red
yeah,
Sparrow.
she gets to
I
break
could already-
through
I
those
already-
shackles in 4 days. So
I already got that. It's like I can already see that topic of conversation coming up. It's like, did you ever have to? Steve could ask Black Widow. He's like, "Oh, have you ever had to? I don't know, do the?" And she's like, "It's called sex, Steve." And yes, I've had to.
Yeah.
And yes,
I
I've
could-
had to.
Yes.
Some guys, some girls. And he's like going, "Okay, this is a weird line of conversation. Let's get off it."
Yeah. I could see that.
Did any of you guys watch Kingsman and Secret Service?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Y'all
I
remember
like
that scene where I had to woo what's her face?
Yes.
Even Roxy had to woo her too. Can we
Yeah.
appreciate that too?
Yep. They all
That
had
they
to.
didn't draw attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. They all had to woo the same. Even the girl had to woo the
Roxy.
try to get. Yeah, Roxy had to woo the girl. Yep. So they all got to do what they got to do, and that's what I think. Like,
Exactly. This is equal opportunity failure here.
yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
That was the test. Yeah. And I'm sure Black Widow had to do the same, but I don't think we'll see that in the film. You're not going to get it. Nope, not that.
No. That's
Oh,
the
no.
that's a big
Is it-
no.
is
thing
it-
about them waiting too long is that, let's say you do actually watch it right after Winter Soldier, you know, this new whatever. Like, she doesn't look anything like what she did back then. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
she
that's
hasn't
because
she hasn't hit the wall or anything. It's just there's been too much time in between films. So
that's the sad thing. This movie, Black
She's
Widow,
caked up.
is too little, too late. I'm not taking Kevin
no, like
Feige's sloppy seconds.
her frown lines have set in. If you haven't been paying attention, folks,
Mhm.
like her frown lines set in already.
Mhm.
Like here, there's like little or none. So
Well, I think they toned her down. She's not in her black suit. Her sex appeal has been toned down because they don't want the male gaze. They don't want you men drooling in your seats.
Oh,
So
I
they
saw
have
enough
to
gays
tone
in
her
that
down.
freaking title opener after the trailer finished up. You got her in the big hips, big thighs, everything. So what you trying to have it both
Yeah.
ways?
Mm-hmm.
that's how it works.
That's
so
why I
like
step
them.
in because I cannot stand when people try to have it both ways.
Right, and you can't,
Yep.
you can't, you
Like-
can't have
And then
it.
and then be angry at the fact that they got it both ways and still miserable. Sorry,
You
Leia,
know,
go
I'm
ahead.
looking at
They didn't know what they want.
Go ahead, Leia.
No, I'm just gonna say you can't have your cake and eat it too, and that's what they want to do. You know, you can't. You will love one and hate the other, but you can't have it in between. I was just gonna
Mhm.
say, Wolf, the shield is Scooter was right. The shield is red now. Remember in the beginning you didn't like it red,
That's
but
his
now it's red.
no. That's his other shield. He had two
Oh.
shields.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, but that's his shield.
Yeah, he had that in his apartment. Remember?
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
I was like I said, the it's just me. It's just me. It's a me thing. The color scheme was just. I know that it serves a purpose. I just like I'm too much of a traditionalist. It's got to be the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
all.
mind it. No, I don't mind it.
I especially love this scene because this is how close to comic book accurate we're going to get with Arnim Zola.
Yeah,
Right.
I like the science retroism here. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And him
Do
finding
you
out.
think his
yeah.
accent is far too heavy in this scene versus his
No, not at all.
accent?
No,
don't think so?
Because that
I don't think
perfect.
so.
It's that perfect blend of his original voice and that real cold computer calculated voice.
Yeah,
Kind of reminds me of Yes Man from Fallout 2 Fallout New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And also the
Also
shocking
Also
Basically,
think it's place.
the shocking truth, he's finding out that Hydra is now a part of Shield, and who he's been working for all this time. That really it was what he thought he defeated, which was Hydra.
You would have thought Zoloff would have defected,
Yeah.
but he didn't. He actually had a hand in corrupting it from within.
Yes, yeah.
And the
Yep.
thing is,
Well,
what
I mean,
really
it follows a similar story to World War II in terms of when the Allies went ahead and did what they did. I mean, we copped a lot of the scientists. So I mean, they were still doing what they were doing, and they were encouraged to do their science projects, if you will. But they were doing it under the guise of the U.S. government. So
Yeah.
this is
I
also
mean, it
one
follows
big,
a similar thing.
this is also one big allegory to what people were feeling, especially around 2014 with the big tech boom and how everybody felt like they were being watched, and that real fear and paranoia.
Oh, they definitely are now. I mean,
Oh yeah.
before, they definitely are now. So.
More or less.
But this is 2014 when they were starting to bring awareness around it. For what good it's in.
And the sad part is with as much awareness as you bring to this stuff, a lot of people they go with it. So.
Oh.
To quote Morpheus, they're so functionally dependent on it that they will fight to defend it. That's why. I can't finish that line.
I do love that
you
scene where Zola basically says to him, "You died for nothing, Captain. It's all over." And where that would have been a defeatist moment for the hero, what does Cap do? He just punches him in the face.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
And then just immediately says, "Okay, enough with these monkey shines. What's on the drive?"
Right.
Well, I mean, it's good allegory. I mean, look at it now. I mean, and even back then,
Oh, yeah.
we're talking about your phones or GPS. When you do any activity on social media, you have to either log in or be subscribed to a channel. So you're the product, and your
Mimic
searches,
time.
your your video views, they're your digital fingerprint. Sort of like
I'm
how Zola,
singing in the rain.
sort of like how
Yes,
Zola
Oh,
is like a mental
singing in the
fingerprint
rain.
in this particular
seeing
scene.
the
Yeah.
game.
Hey, he's technically holding it like it's an umbrella.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I got to. Because if I was me with him, like, yeah, can't you kick the door open? The bomb is about to
That's a 2-ton, 24-inch thick door. I don't think he'd be able to do that.
I know, that's when I would be panicking, like, oh, I
This is
can't
where you
believe
would need
this
a
is it.
Hulk. He would say,
This
"This
is
is
it.
where you
Oh,
would need
you
a
mean
Hulk."
This
knocked
is it
out?
for me.
She's knocked
Huh?
out. She's not covered in plot armor.
Yeah,
Well, for any normal person, they would have been dead right there, but this is Captain America.
that shield and the power of that shield. Yeah.
Right.
Rescued her.
May I
Vibranium can take a.
May I
Yeah.
quote? It's a vibranium shield. It's not impenetrable per se. It's impact resistance, and it can only resist for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Again, man, like freaking Frank Grillo and Callan, like Mulvey, are like so underutilized in these films, man. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean,
That's
I've
why we
seen their
need. We
subsequent
should have
work.
short series and short films with them to
Yeah.
add world building.
Yeah.
He should have been on the Falcon excuse me, with Black Captain with special guest star Winter Soldier. He
Make
should
it
have been
easy
on
for
that.
yourself. Replacement Negro and White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah. He should have been on that. Yeah.
And actually, that would have been an idyllic.
Hey, it's a Buddha head. Their whole Tony John ain't around.
He should have been the,
also an idyllic moment to do a Nick Fury movie where he's becoming aware of Hydra's existence within Shield.
yeah.
And
That's
Go ahead, Leia.
no, continue, Scooty. I was just gonna say exactly what you said. Go ahead.
That would have been like he becomes aware of Hydra or some secret organization is within Shield, and what you've got is this real, like what Trooper was saying, spy versus spy mentality. It's this like big game of chess where it's cat and mouse.
I like this scene too. It's very sinister. The scene,
The CG shadow on his face, I guess.
yeah, it is sinister because I also think it's trying to hide his identity, but a lot of people who know the story. Yeah, that is so
Blow that away
dumb.
in the morning.
Well,
Kill the gringo.
well, the idea was, he is a bad guy. Pierce is a bad guy, and if you didn't realize that
Sorry,
by
you're a
now,
minority. You
that
gotta
tells
die.
you what team he's on. He's not playing both sides.
No.
So
No. And I was just gonna say it's to hide his idea. Some people in the audience, like my family, they didn't know who he was, but for us who read the comic, we already knew who that was in the dark.
exactly. And see, and that's always been my point with a lot of these films, especially Endgame. Like that's why they wrapped them up the way they did, because a lot of these people, this is canon to them. It's like there's
Yeah.
comic
sad
books and
thing.
all that all, but it's like, so you get these like weird endings in Endgame, and they're not really made for like the fans that have been through this like 10-year journey. It's more for like the generic casual viewer. Oh look, he got his dance, that's so cool, that whole thing.
Trooper, I'm sorry, I have to have my moment for the t-shirt and the muscle, so I'm just gonna take this moment to drill. Talk among yourselves. I'm gonna enjoy myself right here. Yes, Lord.
Well, we got Eye Candy too right here.
Yes, okay.
in front
Well,
of him.
I'm gonna enjoy.
We got Black Widow for our enjoyment.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. I'm enjoying mine right now. So
Shut up, Trooper.
She's feeling very oppressed right now.
Dang it, Trooper. You always gotta be a party pooper.
Yeah, I ain't oppressed. Who the
Biggest
arms?
troop.
Just
Like,
right.
how dare you look at me as a sex object? I'm a woman.
This
we ain't gonna
Cooper's
get into
wallflower
it, but
among us
we
here.
can't help ourselves, everybody.
That
We
is
can't help
full
by
man.
making fun of the woke.
Yep, that is full man right there.
Although
It's-
I
it's-
do think for makeup they went
full
over.
man.
No. Don't be polite, Leia. Just
Don't
call him a
you-
mountain of meat.
Yeah.
Call
Like,
him a mountain of meat.
Like,
man.
That's a full course
Subsequently,
meal
they go
right
really
there.
hard. They go
Yes.
really hard on this makeup in the later films, but here they're not as heavy on the makeup in terms of
Yeah,
it doesn't look like super cakey. Like as we get towards Infinity War, it starts getting more
I mean,
cakey.
look. Can we also appreciate the
Cool
the chocolate
t-shirt.
muffin that just walked in and walked out?
I'm too busy
Are you
on
sure?
that.
Are you sure that wasn't a stunt double? You know, like
No,
Captain Marvel.
my eyes were still on that white t-shirt and muscle out.
She was
just
on that
Christ.
marshmallow.
Yes.
She was
Because,
on that marshmallow.
Brie Larson needed an ass double because her ass is flat.
This
So.
part, I love
Yeah, she has no ass.
but I
See,
love
See, we got a s'more here, everybody. We got a s'more now. We got 2 graham crackers and one chocolate fudge in the middle.
Oh yeah.
I love this scene. I love this scene so much because they basically are saying, okay, so how do the 2 most wanted people in the world
They
set
build up
somebody up?
the flight.
And then Falcon comes in and just goes, you guys don't. This is him. See, this is what I loved about his character. Why I loved Falcon is that he's getting involved in this despite having no personal stake involved.
Right, exactly, and that's why we like them.
Exactly.
He's there for his friends.
Exactly. This is the fight.
Again,
this is the fight he chooses.
It's
he
a
chooses
call
this
to
fight.
adventure.
Exactly.
It's following
the hero's journey right here.
It's following bread and butter story writing. It's about as much as we're gonna get. Subsequently,
What they should have did instead of doing, token black cap, whatever Wolf said, he should have gotten his story of him, Riley, how he lost Riley, became Falcon, and become the man that he is. Because he already, it was right there in front of them. There was the story right there. It's right there. But no, Disney couldn't do that. I just have to throw it in there. Sorry, but it just shows you why
really do look like a peanut.
Well, I really like how they
does.
I really like how they used Gary Shandling in here in terms of it's all one big world and it's okay. I know him from quote Iron Man.
Yeah, he was in Iron Man too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it gives it more continuity, and it's like suddenly we're now starting to kind of.
And it perfectly recontextualizes Iron Man 2, why he was pressuring Tony Stark to give the Iron Man suit to the United States military. Yep. Hydra wanted it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's why now we're seeing everything.
They would have abused the hell out of that suit if they ever got
really
it too.
What's really funny is Max Hernandez is actually really fit in this film, and you can't tell because he's under that suit. Like he doesn't look anything like that now. He's gained weight.
Suits make him look small. That's all I'm saying. Suits be making big people look small.
You're right, Brian. If Hydra had got a hold of that suit, God knows what they would have done with it.
Yeah.
I even
they do a better job than Justin Hammer. I will tell you that.
I don't speak Russian.
Which, by the way,
beautiful impression there.
Yeah.
This opportunity because
hang on, guys. Take a moment of silence here because this is where I got the goosebumps.
Oh yeah.
Well, it just reasserts that.
Shut up!
Like, come here, pet.
It reasserts that Disney just has
Would
a
you
hard
not
time
ruin the moment here? Damn it!
Dude,
what goosebump? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom! Super kick.
Her atomic
Black Widow be like, boom,
push kick.
Which if you
wait.
There you go.
Hang on. Hang on.
Enter the Falcon.
That music, man. That music, man.
Brian. That was perfect timing, Brian.
And that's a commercial.
Yeah,
now
that's
he's doing Hyundai.
Yep. I even
the hell you need a car when you got wings, fool?
Well, tell that to Hyundai because he's trying to sell them Hyundais now.
Drop the malt liquor and chicken. Get in the car.
Yep.
It's like I don't know how we got to the point where now we got MCU superheroes selling a Hyundai. I don't get it.
It's the Lorax all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I speak for the trees, now buy a car.
Did we ever see Captain America need to sell a Nissan? Chris Evans. We never saw Chris Evans.
No, you didn't. I just recently saw one with Wanda selling. It was, I don't know if you
The
guys seen
Hyundai.
it.
It's the same Hyundai. Yeah.
Yeah. She says, "Why is everything
Yeah.
black and white? It has to be to color." I'm like, "Oh, they really done gone commercialized now." And you're
They
right,
have to.
Squinty.
They have to because freaking Disney is like floundering. They got to keep pumping their content. They have no other way of getting it out because they put themselves in a corner where now everything is on a streaming service and they don't want to release any of it. So
Right.
it's like,
Oh yeah.
how do you let people know that D Plus is around? So
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Right,
Here,
this
yes,
This is
one.
it.
this is it right here. Oh, this is one of the best action sequences I think out the whole
Oh.
MCU. I
Snatch.
don't think I've ever
Got
seen it in a
whipped right
movie.
out.
That
Snatch,
was brutal.
throw, boom. Boom.
Yes,
Yeah, boom.
I said I can't believe Disney did that.
She saved Falcon in that instance.
Yeah.
I mimicked that scene.
Yeah.
well, that's one of the things with Disney. They just can't show the violence; they can imply it.
Hmm. Which is good.
Now
if
he
the
sees.
two had not rear-ended them, Black Widow would have ended that fight right there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I love
Yeah.
the look on Cap's face when he finally sees the ghost that she was talking about. She's like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
"No, Cap."
Well, he actually saw
that's
it.
what she
This is the second time he sees him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Mm.
this is the same guy on.
the wheel.
He-
She just gave him a name.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
surprisingly, for a film that got $170 million budget, this is actually a very good film.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But this
like,
These are
whole
real people, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. Well, this whole action scene, the start from the ending to the ending shot where he discovers who Bucky is, this just works so
Stunt
good.
double.
well, it's a
Oh,
mix.
would
yeah.
you stop
It's-
talking?
It's a mix of
I'm
practical.
only pointing out the technicalities.
Well,
Okay.
the best
Oh,
way.
there's some
Boom.
knockback there.
Right into a bus.
The
In a bus.
the best way to
We got knocked into orbit right there.
You know what's sad about that bus scene? I find that more believable than the Mummy bus scene.
well, that's
Oh, yeah.
you know
The
one
Tom
thing I was
Cruise one I'm
alluding
talking
to,
about, not
that
the,
it actually did have a good balance of practical and CG effects. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't like
Yeah.
I agree with
heavily
you, Trooper.
CG. There was enough
Yeah, very
practical
good.
effects that it makes the movie
It feels
not
more
very
believable
well,
that way.
yeah.
That's a detached shoulder.
Yep. I actually also love this scene because while we know that Bucky is controlled, we see that he does maintain a bit of autonomy.
Yeah, I
Like, for
agree.
example, he does get visually agitated when right here,
Right here,
when
right here.
Black Widow shoots
Yeah, like
him.
Black Widow shoots right back at him.
Yeah, like she
And
just
he
did right there.
realized- Exactly. And he's basically saying, nobody in my entire career had ever gotten that close.
Well, the
Right.
thing
Now,
is,
now,
Yeah.
now he's out for blood.
it's like she didn't miss.
Oh, yeah.
Like the bullet hit its mark. So
Hmm.
Right. She didn't.
So she struck a nerve.
yeah.
Like, I have her. Find him.
Yep.
Yeah,
That Russian, that was beautifully done.
Mm-hmm. And here we go. He may not be a super soldier, but this is where Sam shows he can kick some ass. I love this part.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
My
he's,
favorite
he's
part. Yep.
Well, it's kind of like a Black Panther in Age of Ultron, and then the Black Panther film proper. It's like it's
Civil
a different
War, fool.
version. It's like it's a different version of Sam Wilson that we get here. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
I would have liked to have seen more Winter
Slams
Soldier.
it down,
back in-
comes walking right up,
Yeah.
gets his back, cuts the strap, kicks him right off. There we
yeah,
go.
I agree.
Yeah.
Ends it with a catch of the bullet. I mean the gun.
Yep. I love that part how he just redirects the minigun over to that one guy.
Yeah.
I
Comic
absolutely.
book scene.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it works. That's why this movie worked. They brought the comic book to. That's what fans want to see. They want to see that
Oh,
action
yeah.
come to life. That's why this
You
was
ain't
such
getting
a
your own show.
smash. Yeah.
Getting the full money here.
Yeah. You tell them to go, and like you said, you're getting exactly. That's what brought them in there. You know, and it works. Like you guys said, it is a beautiful combination of. Oh, I love the music here when he's stalking her.
They made magnetic weapons look good too.
Yeah.
Look at that
Yeah.
magnet on that gun.
Yep.
I would like
And
to see him pull him off
what I
of
love about
real life Final Fantasy 7. I mean,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And right now he's hunting. Yeah, he's hunting Black Widow. Not right now. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
who he's. Yep,
Mm.
that's what he's hunting
cat and
down.
mouse.
Yeah, yep. Good way of putting it. But it's a beautiful marriage of the CGI and the live action because they shot a lot of this live action also.
Yeah, a lot of it
This
is practical.
and it works. This is
Oh,
how you
love
this
it.
is how
You gotta
you
use
do
Misdirect.
Yeah, love it.
it.
It's
But what
like
I love about
surprise,
this
mofo.
Mhm.
boom,
Like surprise,
Right.
mofo.
Yeah,
Sebastian Stan, you lucky
Bro,
bastard.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
she.
press A.
Yep. But this is what I love about this
Yeah.
scene is that despite how crafty Black Widow is, it's very clear the Winter Soldier is a relentless force.
That's the scary thing. Yeah.
Oh no,
He's like the
one thing we
Terminator here.
missed here,
Yeah.
and what she was telling Steve, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember,
And that's what
they shot. He shot through her to his mark. Now he shot through a window to hit her.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. Now she's looking like, where did that come? Where?
Boom!
Yep. I don't see him.
all right. You guys can't tell, but I am shadowing this entire scene.
Same
Okay, wait.
here.
Okay, here comes the scene. Right, this is the kick-ass fight scene. Oh man, my
Oh,
theater was
yeah.
applauded. The theater in my room applauded as this went on. They just loved it. I loved it.
My
too.
theater went quiet.
Oh, they was
Yeah.
rocking in my theater. They like this. They're like Steve
Not
is
not because they
moving.
were bored. It's like the whole scene was just so
They were in
explosive that
awe of
everybody
it, is what you're saying.
yeah.
You got two titans going at it. I just thought it was just amazing.
Oh yeah.
That's all. That's all.
Two
Sebastian
former
Stan
best
right
friends.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the
Well,
knife
I
flip.
mean, Steven.
Yeah,
That's
But what I love about this scene too is that you like see in the very subtle sequencing
kick.
how
And here comes the other. I'm like, oh, Steve is. I've never seen Steve move like this.
yep.
Just
And
just
seeing how
freaking.
both of them are sizing each other up and how they're always changing their fighting style.
He's got another knife for every occasion.
Yep. Because
Yeah.
what is Winter Soldier? He's not messing around. He's fighting to kill.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's it.
he's an
Yeah, that's the
assassin.
difference. Yeah, he is. Yeah, they just flipping him over like a potato sack. Then maybe that's why Steve is fighting for his life, I guess, because he knows he's
Yeah.
Then
fighting.
you
to
get
kill.
Now the
big
reveal.
The big reveal.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now the audience they didn't know they were shocked. I knew, but everybody else in the theater didn't know. So they were quiet. They were quiet at this moment. They didn't know.
Where the hell's Bucky?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's such a shock that it just could, for him to recognize him after so long.
That's
I love
right.
that scene,
Had
too.
to be saved by a woman. Yeah.
It's this blink in your- Of course, that sequence, what I love too, it's a blink and you'll miss it moment.
This
But
ain't the end of the movie. Why y'all showing up now?
did you guys see the moment of hesitation on Bucky's face before he pulls his gun and Black Widow fires?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how she was able to get him. That's what I'm saying. And I'm getting into the bromance here, but I don't care. I know what it is. Yeah, people can think what they want. Something ticked him. Something ticked him to get him to hesitate. He's not supposed to hesitate. He's an
But
assassin.
you notice how he almost never talked during this entire fight, except when he's like given direction on where he's going.
Yeah.
But right when Steve says
Yeah.
"fuck," he responds to that.
Yeah. That
Who the hell
was
is Bucky?
yeah.
Yeah. Who the
Yeah.
hell is Bucky?
Well, the good thing is about this particular film is that in terms of reveals of like plot reveals are timed very well. I mean, they're not too close together. So, I mean, at this point, if you haven't been able to put things together, it's doing it for you. But you had enough time to kind of already start to kind of get a feel for where it might be going. And then if it misdirects you, then you're like, oh, okay, it's going this way. So,
And also I want to go back to the fight. And I had to say this many times to my family members when we were yakking. I'm saying in the car on the home for this movie, we could not shut up. I'm sorry, Wolf. We were just all just yakking at how good this was. We just was all John. I like this John. He did the scene. And then I said,
that was
You
that was a good Maria Hill moment.
yes.
Mhm.
It was indeed.
Helmet hair and all.
Yeah,
Looking
that was an
good.
amazing reveal about Maria Hill. You're like, oh my god, yes, that's
Just
right.
Just revealed milkshake to that.
I
Well,
love
again, like
I love that
he
uncanny
filmed it
beauty,
really well on small plot reveals not being too close to each other. I mean, there's enough suspense and there's enough action to.
I say she's a Jedi too.
There's enough space in between things so you don't get overwhelmed as well.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the director's cameo right here.
Oh yeah, okay. Director's cameo. If anybody cares. Okay, I'm just saying. Steve's now moved after finding.
Endgame did a bad job of that because by the second half of Endgame, you're just overwhelmed
There's
with
the one-
so
there's
much
the
of
one-
what's going on. Like,
Yes.
That's the one Russo brother. The other Russo brother you're going to see in the Winter Soldier scene.
yeah,
I know what the other one was in that scene, and that's an important scene too. But we'll get to that when we get there. But I was just saying how Steve's mood changes when he sees Bucky. The shock, it's.
He'll looking like Sarah Connor in the background.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And now
Sorry, lad.
Oh, that's okay. Now we see Fury is alive after all.
One beat a minute, he says. Slowed it to a crawl.
And I just see Steve's mentality at this point, knowing that his best friend is still very much alive and almost tried to kill me, but he still believes in him.
Got some more fireworks on your end.
Yes, they're still shooting. It's dark here now, so they are moving it up on this playground. But
They're playing around here for a minute there.
I see red, white, blue, green.
Nice.
Okay. Now this moment right here is important, but it's also emotional too, because he's starting to remember, and they see that as a malfunction. Talking to him almost like he's some sort of machine.
Mm-hmm.
So he is part cyborg after all, so yeah.
Yeah, you're right there, Brian. You're right there, but
Did he just knock down the Russo brother, by the way?
Nope, that's not
Okay.
him. The one who went running away is. Oh, here it comes. That's him right there.
Oh, yeah.
The bow tie. The other Russo brother.
yeah.
Oh.
He specifically wore a bow tie because he wanted to stand out.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even notice.
Yeah. And it is because his memory, just by seeing Steve, he remembers. He's saying remembering his malfunction. Kind of reminds me of a scene like this in RoboCop, the first original RoboCop,
Slap.
when RoboCop starts to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like trying to gain his humanity back.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't growl, Leia, when he slapped him.
Yeah, it made me mad because it's cruel, but they shouldn't have Sebastian Stan's shirt off.
You got
when he
way
sees
more
it.
reserve than I do.
He was
No,
admiring.
well,
We know, Melissa. We know he's a cyborg.
They shouldn't have had
Like-
Sebastian
like-
Stan's shirt off. They need to stop with this. It distracts me from my emotion.
It's like, did you just flip off Cthulhu? Is what this is,
Yeah.
Melissa's giving us some Marvel trivia, but she's going on and on about how he's a cyborg. We know he's a cyborg.
But
He's got a
I
robot
even
arm.
mentioned it.
That counts as a cyborg.
Yep.
But
See, and this is really where the brainwash comes. This is really where the brainwashing comes in, which is so messed up what Pierce is doing to him. I mean, because he's basically telling him that you are a gifted soldier, you are an asset to us, we need you, but I need you. I can't do my part if you can't do yours. And it's like, remember what you are.
it's
And that's-
hard.
Go ahead, Leia.
No, Scott, I was going to let you finish. It's heartbreaking to me. I felt sorry for him. I don't care. I told you I had so many emotions in
They
this
reprimanded him in this scene in a way.
film. I felt
Yeah.
sorry for him.
Yeah.
And that look, did you see the look on his face when they told him to wipe him and put it like he knows what's coming and he can't do anything about it?
Mhm.
And what's the name? Sees it. 'cause he
Electroshot treatment.
Yep, he brings it up again in Civil War to Steve that I saw what they did to your friend, and it happens in Civil War. Crossbones brings it up again.
Now,
Yeah.
one thing I wish I was there for the Civil War rewatch with Dan Herron and Age and You. I wanted to point out that the super soldiers that they had in the flashback were the stunt doubles.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yep.
Yep.
I think you
I
brought
knew.
it up, Leia. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I thought that was like a real honor to get them into the movie.
Yeah,
Only to
I thought
shoot
it
him in the
was
head.
Well, no, they did get their sequence in the movie, which I love, but the
Only
whole
to be shot in the head.
because they were a red herring, and I thought that was actually pretty cool.
I
They were a
know.
red
I'm just saying they would. I will tell you right now, they fare a lot better than the extremist people from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Only
Yeah,
to be
he-
shot in the head twice, even. Dang, Zimmer was merciful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
love
love this
that.
part where Stu just comes right in and says, "We're not salvaging anything. You said it yourself. Shield's been compromised. It all has to go."
Yeah. I love how he stands up to him. Yeah, he really puts
Yeah.
his foot down in this one. Yeah, I love
He's
it.
like, he's like going, "Enough. This is no more. We're done with this whole hiding in the shadows and all of this because look where it led."
Yep, and you gave me this mission too. And I made it. So here's what I'm saying we're going to do now.
So,
Like, we tried it your way and it failed. Now it's my turn, is what Cap is saying.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had to pick up the slack after this movie. Did you guys remember that?
I did remember that actually.
Yeah, I didn't watch
A lot of
any
people
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I
A
will
lot of
say
people
that
said
was
that
like
it
the best season
Mm-hmm.
that show when they really worked the Shield was compromised angle from Captain America Winter Soldier.
Because they had a good foundation. It was built off of
Yeah.
a good foundation, this film, and how good
Shame
this
Lucy
film
Laws had to die for that season though.
Well, she does in everything.
Yeah.
Not everything, man.
I mean,
But
I
I
like
She's
also thought
basically
that
Penny from South Park.
I love this moment. I love this moment because it shows his connection to Barnes and how he knows what a good man he is. And I'm just going to say
I
it.
was a little iffy about this scene.
I
well,
loved it.
the CG is better and it's far improved from first Avengers.
Well, I also
It's not about the CGI.
I love this scene a lot too because I agree with Leia. I love this scene a lot too because now it's revealed that another link to several links to his past are finally here. Not just Peggy, but now he found out Hydra's alive, and actually he was pretty relieved with that because he says, "Well, now I know who the enemy is."
I think I
Right.
figured it out.
Yeah.
I didn't like Bucky's hair in this scene.
You didn't like the.
I didn't like the comb back. I didn't like the slick
Pardon.
back. I was
Oh,
I was very favorable of the hair he had in First Avenger.
Well, it's
Just
to
see-
humanize them, but it's not to completely humanize them. It's
I'm sorry, I'm a
kinda-
continuity buff here. Sue
Well,
me.
Okay,
I
here's
just
the thing.
look.
Here's the
Bottom
thing.
line
If you start
is
to
the
humanize
hair
him,
was too much.
then he's no longer a villain. Right now, he's a villain.
Well,
So
And I also
They
love
made
the
him look
part-
like a playboy in that scene. That was throwing me off. I didn't like that.
no, to me, it had more of a villainous feel. Like
I love this.
Stan Lee?
I love
Yep,
this
Stan
part
Lee.
because he says
Press
What
F for
function-
Stan Lee.
that's all you, man.
what did you say, Scooty?
I love the part where he says that he's going to be there, right? And he says, "I got to stop him." And he says, "I don't." He says, "No." He says, "Save him. That's not the type of person you save. He's the person you got to stop." And he goes, "I don't know if I can do that." And he says, "Well, what if he doesn't give you a choice? What if you can't?" He says, "What if he doesn't give you a choice?" And he says, "He will give me a choice."
Well, it's the Luke Skywalker
Self-assurance.
in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
In Return
Exactly.
of the Jedi,
It's Count Shia LaBeouf.
it's the Luke Skywalker
Yeah.
moment in Return of the Jedi where
Mhm.
I have to
Luke
try.
tells Leia, "I'm going to bring Vader back for the dark side." Obi-Wan says, "You have to kill
Hey,
Vader."
it's that shit. It's that shit accounted from Dark Knight.
Uh huh.
Mhm. Like, no,
Yeah.
I swear to God. Swear on me.
But
And the TV there's playing. That will not stop Batman. Batman has no jurisdiction.
Right.
but back to Scooty, it's the Luke Skywalker moment from Return of the Jedi when Luke decides he's going to rescue Vader. It's the same thing. Obi-Wan
Son,
and everybody
just
else says to Vader. Yeah. No, that's in the first Avenger film. This one he doesn't have to say it. The guns do all the talking.
Right.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he just says,
Son.
"Excuse me."
Just don't.
Yeah, I like
I
that
love
line.
this. Yeah, I love this scene too because Captain America is not going
That's
at this.
clearly water.
Captain America is not going after
no way
this. He instead announces over the loudspeaker, "Hey guys, Hydra's here," and
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love
and,
that.
and
He
why
basically
did he do that? He knows
he
that they're
just
gonna
basically introduced a little chaos into the mix.
And what did he do?
The invasion of chaos. You know what they say about chaos? It's fair.
It's because he knows that Pierce and Hydra agents will make a knee-jerk reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And it works.
And it works.
Yeah, everybody's like, I love how
And this is Sorry, I don't mean to. Sorry, Leia. I don't mean to cut you off. This is exactly what the professor was saying about aspirational heroes. They shine the light.
You got a montage going here too.
Yep.
It's a good one. It fits right with his speech. It fits right what he's talking about. You're right, Scoot. That's exactly what the professor said about this, and that's what he's doing. He's showing the light on him in this montage. Yeah, it's
and tells them to not, and that it's okay to be scared, but that doesn't mean to not do your duty if you are loyal to what you believe in.
Yeah, because he says, "I know I might be alone, but I know I'm not." That's Steve Rogers. That's why people follow him. Basically, I'm going to put it like this, but that's why everybody falls in love with him, because he and I not thinking sexually. Get the freaks out your mind, folks. But you can't help but fall in love with someone like that.
I'm just looking at discount Shia LaBeouf right now.
I'm getting a total nerd and jock vibe here. The jock is trying to bully the nerd, and the nerd is stand up to him.
Yeah. That's what I get too with Crossbones here. Again, Rumlow should have been in that. That should have been the bad guy on token black guy with white man Winter Soldier. I said that's the guy that she should have been on the show. The show
you mean moldy marshmallow and not so dark chocolate?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. He should have been on the show.
Oh, I agree. He should have been on the show. That would have been amazing.
Yeah. Great villain. He would have really rocked.
Or his contemporary.
Batroc? Or
not Batroc. The other dude. With the slick back.
Oh, I can't think of his name right now, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Another girl kicking a guy out of the way to save his ass.
It's in every man moment. It's basically.
And I love that. So everybody's shooting at everybody.
Go on, girl. Pop that ass. Pop that ass.
It more has to do with, even the everyman has an obligation to duty.
Yeah. So. And I also love that bit, though, even if because he says, "I'm not going to launch those ships, Captain's orders." Rumlow immediately pulls a gun on him. You might think that the nerd probably think, "Great, I'm alone and I'm going to die here." Oh no, Sharon Carter and a bunch of the agents there are all pulling out their guns and going, "Yeah, you heard him, Captain's orders."
That's a great moment.
He relaxed too when that happened. You see him all nervous and stuff. That kid sold that nervousness, that tension.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I agree with you. Now, a lot of this is CGI, but it works so well because it looks so realistic. I am not going to lie. The launching of the helicarriers.
And they say it works best at nighttime.
Yeah, but that's what makes this rock, because this is day shot. But man, this sucker looked real. I mean, it did. I'm like, they really.
Those things are smaller than the usual helicarrier.
Yeah.
How do we know the good guys from the bad? If they're shooting at you, they're bad.
Yeah. That's a good.
It's really funny. They haven't released Black Widow's reported budget numbers yet. It's funny. I'm like, just release the dang numbers.
I can barely hear you, Trooper.
We know it's like around 160 million. So
I think that movie's budget was bigger than this one's. I don't know. I could be wrong. We have to wait. But I think it's
she was skydiving off a wreckage.
Yeah. And I think this had a mod. I know, Trooper, you mentioned the budget earlier, but I think the reason this movie was such a big hit and made its money back is what the budget wasn't so huge that it couldn't make its money back.
I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of fun fact. I was pre-watching this the night before. My wife was looking at this. She was looking at Falcon. She's like, "Can't even do the job as Captain America. Look at him just flying around." I'm like, well, he still got to avoid getting shot. Like I don't. She's like, it doesn't matter. He's not good being Captain America. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna let you have that one. But still, like I still love this scene because he's flying around avoiding them shots, and I'm getting goosebumps every single time he's doing that. I'm like, shoo.
But your wife
Not
has
if it was
your wife has a point. Feige in the now new Marvel is not looking at the skills he does have. They're not looking at what he can do. They feel he's only validated if he becomes Captain America. But they're not looking at what he can.
That is BS. What you
Your
were
princess
saying.
is in another castle.
Yeah. I agree with what you were saying, though, Leia. Plus size. Feige, have you even watched this movie?
Yeah.
Did you even watch any of the movies that you produce?
Of course not. He's a PGA. All he has to do is just kind of make sure
Push the
everything's
pencil,
aligned.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, that's the whole point, and that's what I keep harping at. It's like, everyone likes to talk about Kathleen and blah 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 blah, but they always give certain people a pass. I'm like, because you pretty much listen to what you're told.
I'm not giving
He
him
wants a
literally
Star Wars.
spew the
Don't give him no
same-
Star Wars.
You spew the same opinions that you hear on YouTube, and it's like, when are you going to have your own personal opinion? Like a lot of these dudes needed to be held accountable subsequently, and of course they haven't been.
Look at that. He's maneuvering around all those
like a bird.
Yep.
And see, that's what they've took it away from him by making him the new Cap. He won't have this identity anymore. He's cool in this film.
Can we appreciate how he's doing his best? It really mimics his run in the beginning of the movie, where he staggers a bit, but he picks it back up and and gets back his momentum.
Yep.
Exactly, and that's what Feige is missing.
Enduring. That's what he is.
He is the underdog in this scene right now, among some overachievers, by the way.
Well, that's why, that's what Feige's missing. Feige figures he's only validated, and now he's kind of put it into Mackie's head now. That's why I was so mad at Mackie's comments about now feeling validated. I'm like,
director and writer level. This is all at the director and writer level. So, I mean, again, the producers just produce. Like,
I still have the line
man is pouring out his heart, girl.
I know the scene's over, but one of my favorite lines is when he says to him, if you could end it all with just a flick of the switch, wouldn't you do it? And the one guy looks at him and says, not if it was your switch.
Yeah.
He's like going, no.
I love that scene right here.
Yeah.
This is where I'm like, I was like, woo!
Yep.
Not at this moment. Wait a minute. Here we go. Here's the woo moment right here. Woo! Love that. I always love that. I was like, I would never have thought that if I was in that apparatus. I would never have thought to do that maneuver. I was like that in the theater. I was like, whoo!
You're the only one loving this film. See, that's the great thing about this film. There's a moment for everybody. Everybody had a moment where they wanted to cheer, and those are the kinds of movies I love.
And I did that same whoo when he did that in Civil War. I was like, oh, y'all kind of forgot he could do that, did y'all?
And then when you see the Air Force coming in saying, we are all the hopes that Captain America has right now, and you're like, yeah, then sudden explosion, Winter Soldier, you're like, oh no!
Yes, yeah, we forgot, yeah.
They're like, oh crap, these guys are doomed! Oh man.
Another person going through a propeller blade.
Yep. You see Captain America taking down, earlier in the movie, you see him taking down a plane. Well, this guy just took down 7.
Yes, yeah, you're right, and I saw that myself. You're not the only one who brought that out. That was brought out in the theater too.
I hope you don't mind me taking the wheel for a bit, comrade.
And he just kicked the guy from way off, and then he
to Jerusalem.
Yeah. He just really kicked him down. But see, I was going to say back to Falcon. That's what we're missing right now. That's what Anthony Mackie has missed, because Anthony Mackie made me mad when he said, "Now I feel for promotion validated." Did you not see your work you did in this film? That did not matter to you? That did not matter? See, now we've lost his identity. We've lost who Falcon is, and he was cool in this
See,
film.
one thing I love about that scene where he does that flip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all know what it looks like in the comics. They took that and ran with it in this movie and managed to pull off that apparatus so well
Yeah.
that, no, like I said, like I never would have thought that he would think to do that to avoid those missiles like that. Same thing with Vision's head beam in Civil War.
But again,
Exactly.
that's
It
like a
shows that
director
you
thing, especially when you're
But it also
when you're
shows that
crafting this film together. I mean,
Hang on, Schooner.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead,
that's
Trooper.
the big things. I mean, it's like when you get the story from the writers or when you get the screenplay, it's up to the writers to more or less create a body for it. And then once it makes its way to the director fills in the gaps. And you can tell how close they stuck to the source material in this film.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
Considering the sources that they borrowed from to
Yeah.
make this movie.
But that
yeah,
again,
this one definitely borrows heavy on that. So,
I agree with you, Trooper. That's why this rocks. That's why this stands out from other MCU movies, and that's why I think it is the best. They ticked all the right buttons. Do you
By
guys
the way,
think
I hope I didn't scare anybody with that who
I got
sound.
scratched by a cat. So,
Oh wow.
Do you guys think that maybe I'm blanking out on the guy's name.
which one?
Josh Whedon maybe got a little envious when it got time to do Age of Ultron because the Russos were just talked about so much.
I don't think
And
so,
maybe
honestly.
you think so when he got to, because the Age of Ultron again, I felt like he treated Cap cartoonish, but this in here the Russos treated him like a badass. I see a difference in the direction.
Again, you gotta put the context in the terms of these
Writing style.
standalone films. Literally, more or less, will carry
All
the
of the same.
franchise until the next Avengers film. You gotta remember, like everything is set up to go to the big set piece, and the big set piece happens to be what
Oh, I
Joss
love this
Whedon
movie.
directs, and that's
You know,
what
you have
obviously he did
I
well
have a big
in the first
Boom.
Avengers film.
cat. Oh,
It's
man.
like on my arm.
And then
Yeah.
he's trying to boom, take him down, trying to go after Cap.
Mhm.
Anticipates it. Whole goal is to damage the wing.
Yeah.
Efficient killer.
Yep.
Well, he is an assassin. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he's a master assassin. That's why I hated the TV show. I didn't watch the TV show. I just watched reviews because I couldn't put myself through it. But the TV show did not treat him like a joke, like a cartoonish, stupid Bugs Bunny Road Runner joke. This is the Winter Soldier. This man is a master assassin. He shouldn't be falling out of trees and tripping over stuff and being goofy. I hated what those writers did to him on the show.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because this is a man who literally walked into a room like Jason Bourne. He walked into a room and he would already have sized up the competition.
Exactly. Exactly. Even if he did fall out of a plane, he gonna know how to land without being goofy. They took it away. They took his badass away from him. I said, "This is the Winter Soldier."
But again-
he didn't do that.
Again, this is all a big workup to Age of Ultron. Like, I mean, it's why we got the content that we did. I mean, the next Avengers film is Infinity War after that. So, I mean, in those films, I mean, you start seeing subtle changes. But, I mean, it's not till, gosh, it's not towards probably after Ragnarok that we start to kind of see
Call back
the
to
direction they're going.
What is this,
to
Goonie?
Red Skull.
Yeah, I love how he's just trying to talk to him. He's saying, "So many people are going to die. I can't let that happen. Don't make me do this."
I was talking about the
Yeah.
overhead shot.
Yeah, but this whole movie does have subtle callbacks to the first Avenger. By the way, this
Mhm.
scene is definitely a subtle callback to the ending of First Avenger.
But it's a great fight sequence, though. But because it's also emotion too. It's also emotion. He's fighting someone he doesn't want to fight, but he never tries to kill him. It's more like
Nope.
it's more like I'll slow him down, but I'm not going to kill him. That's what I felt. And I'm talking about Cap to Bucky. He's still under that. But see, yeah, I got this lease to Ultron, but gosh darn, Trooper, I just like I said, I don't hate Age of Ultron, but I was on such a high after this movie that Ultron just didn't give me that same spirit this did. This just really rocked. This rocked so much. This just really stood out. I guess I went in naive thinking Ultron would be like this, but they just pushed the bar so high in this one.
It's all stuff to get
Sweet.
you to Age of Ultron is what it is. It's to keep going. So
Yikes,
that by the
that's
time we
brutal.
get to Ultron, we get
Yep.
Yeah.
what we got. So
Yeah, but
because
talk about
if the standalone films don't do well, then why would you come back to see the next installment of the Avengers? Because these are all standalones. I mean, granted, yeah, we see it as an Avengers like big tent right now, but I mean, we're 10 years
Here,
into this.
you have that
now,
back.
so.
Yeah, that's
Interception! It's good.
Oh, I was tripping. He just knocked that shield out the way. That's the Winter Soldier. Yeah,
That's what I mean. Interception.
I love that line. He's going, drop it, and then he busts his arm.
Yeah, then he breaks it. Yeah, it's.
The
Again,
music
showing his power.
is shifting.
Mhm.
Yeah. Again, he doesn't want to.
Go ahead,
Yep.
go sleep.
Yeah, he doesn't want to kill him. Again, he's not trying to kill him. He can't bring himself.
Wait. I'm sorry. Just quick moment here. I love Sam's response right here. He's like going, oh, there's the Crossbones logo right there. This is going to hurt. There are no prisoners with Hydra.
Yeah, and
An order comes through pain. Are you ready for yours? Man,
Shut the hell up.
yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
that line.
So
Yep.
black man of him.
Yeah. And yeah.
Any black person will relate.
Yes.
I just like it because that's like totally what a hero would say to a villain. A villain just goes on this monologue, and the villain just don't we all just want to say during the villain monologue, oh, just shut up.
He just
Shut
again
up and
is
fight.
Well, I mean,
yeah, just shut up and fight, Rumlow. Stop it with the
Trooper, don't ran our parade now.
Yeah,
well, no, I was gonna say that. I mean, the reason these films feel really good is because I mean, you have the
Stop
same
being
writers,
so
and
white.
you have the same directors throughout, with the exception of maybe like first Avengers. So I mean, by this second film, they already have an idea of where they're going. So
Yeah, but
I
you
mean, they
like-
already have
Coffee
a feel
again,
for
I'm
the
kidding.
character. From point A to point B, like Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely were throughout that whole run of those three films. So I mean, with the exception of maybe Joe Johnston being the director on the first film, which is why it has such a particular
Hey,
feel
Samuel.
to it. But like subsequently, the Russo brothers do the second and third installment of the Captain America trilogy. So I mean, it feels cohesive.
Good point, Samuel
Which is
Proctor.
very nice.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, and I think people tend to forget that. I mean, they just kind of, oh well, blah 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 this and blah blah blah. Well, YouTube said that, and it's like, okay, well, did you do your homework? No. It's like, all right, but
You're
it's
right,
one of those
Samuel
things.
Proctor.
It's one of those things. It's like, these writers did very well in terms of providing the product that everyone.
I say we should have
really
fired everybody, but
seems
kept
to
James
like.
Gunn, kept these guys, kept the Russos, and just let them run the show for a while. Even
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
bring back Favreau if need be.
Yeah,
Well, the
I
thing is,
agree.
they cost more.
I know.
Just
Yeah,
like
we
the
know
actors, like with every subsequent film, they cost more money. So
shame
I mean, this is
because I
Disney. It's no longer Paramount. Like Paramount
Yeah.
sees big
I
picture.
think
Disney's
Feige, if
like
you want my
$100.
honest opinion, Feige fell from grace.
Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself. Quit hitting yourself.
I agree with you,
Quit.
Scooter.
Yep.
Please
Stop hitting
continue.
yourself. No, you're hitting me. No, you're hitting me. Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. You're hitting me, man.
Scooter, what were you saying? Because I agree with you 1,010%.
He fell from grace because he had a vision. He said, why not let's
Hell,
try
we can't stop hitting each other.
let's try making an MCU universe, because at the very end of the first Iron Man movie, Feige said that's where he got the idea from. He says, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. And they're saying, that's a really cool Easter egg. But he's the one who actually said, what if it wasn't an Easter egg? What if we actually built on
Pop,
that?
pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Pass.
I agree with you, Scooney.
Well,
and
let's put it to you this way. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
true.
You
that's
read the
how it
Bible,
was pitched
Pierce?
to Disney
Well, there's a
in order
scripture
for
I got
Disney to go
memorized.
along with it. Because Disney
Well,
was
that's
just
the
looking to
stupidity
buy
of.
franchises. Because I mean, they had just what had they just soaked up prior to the MCU? They had just soaked up Pixar, and then they soaked up the MCU, and then they
Star
went ahead and
Wars.
they soaked up Lucasfilm, and then they soaked up something else. Was it
Well,
20th Century Fox? So
yep. Well, that's actually interesting
20th
because
Century Studios.
well, that's interesting because George Lucas, what I think is kind of funny is that he heard what Disney paid for the MCU, and that's why he asked for more money because he
Oh, well,
felt
yeah.
Star Wars was worth more.
Well, and that's the thing. He could sell it for more money because I mean, Star Wars actually had an actual cultural impact on a whole generation
Dying
of
watching your
people,
world
as opposed
crumble.
to the MCU. The MCU did not really have a generational impact.
Good riddance to bad rubbish. Mhm.
So
I do love
mean,
that scene where he just goes "Hail Hydra" as he lays among a shattered glass.
Such arrogance.
Yes.
His world.
Look
Yeah.
at how many weeks they had to leave Endgame in the theaters for them to go ahead and beat Avatar. I mean,
Mhm.
come on, get real. I mean, at that point, there's so much more demand. I'm like, no, you're not. You're trying to gear the numbers. It's like Avatar literally ran from A to B, and that was it, and it made X amount of money. You're just looking to be able to say, hey, we made more money than James Cameron's Avatar. So
Exactly.
Now,
Okay,
this
guys.
is very
Okay,
touching.
this is my scene right here.
This is
This is
my
my
scene.
scene.
Everybody quiet up. Yep.
I felt like a baby in the movie theater when I saw this. I know I said this. I talked about this when the professor
Come on,
interviewed,
Mackie.
but
We
I
don't, know, we
did.
don't want to watch you right now.
Yeah. I will let Mackie get his. I'll be quiet, but when we get that moment, that just it got me. Yeah.
Crossbones. Till the sequel.
I love
This
how
for
Mackie.
drop, this is for dropping a building on me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sam took off. He went in the water, so he just ran.
Like a real black
Sam
man.
ran like a bat out of hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a real black man.
Yep. He was throwing that yak and he just took off. He said, "You can tell me I'm getting out of here."
Mhm. Like a real black man.
You're
You're
like,
right.
you guys, I'm getting him.
well, Captain Marvel would have been able to stop that ship. So
Okay, yeah, she probably.
Yeah. Don't even remind me, man.
Yeah.
41st floor. 40.
Forty.
Hey man, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that stinking dirty ass truck in there. You ain't gonna be in there for 5 minutes. I ain't gonna be in there for 1 minute. That I got a problem with close spaces.
Okay, here we go. This was the kicker. This is to me what defines Captain America. I bawled like a baby. This is just so emotional. I love it. I don't care. I cried. I was crying.
the family subplot, yeah, it's a good subplot.
Trooper, don't rain on my parade.
No, it's about family. I mean, it's a movie about
Bucky's
family.
family.
Subsequently, I mean, that's what it is, especially in this
Bucky is
movie.
all about family.
Yes. And also, and I'm going to
Brother
say
in
this,
arms.
this was the love story. Now, I don't mean sexual, but I
know
mean
what you
that
mean,
this
yeah.
was the love story of
This
the
was the
film.
bromance.
Yes, this
Like a
was the
brotherly
bromance.
love, basically.
Exactly.
Brotherly.
So that's why, to me, I didn't have a problem with it because I got what it was, and I was
Got the
okay with
shield.
it. I was okay with it for this film because I know you. Yeah. Then he drops the shield. I'm like, oh my God, Cap, what are you doing? But I guess that's how much Bucky meant to him.
Tackle.
Because he trusts Bucky
Press A.
enough to
Press
leave
A.
him.
Press A. Press A. Mash that X button. Mash that X button. Mash that X button.
I've created a Frankenstein, haven't I?
It's such a brutal punch.
I know. And it's because, and that scene where he drops his shield, like you were saying, Leo, is great because he trusts Bucky enough to leave himself open.
He ain't got that conditioning right now.
But
No.
even enough to give up
it's
to die,
loosening.
you know.
So,
Yeah.
it's loosening.
And this the
I
part he
mean,
says that, and then then he falls into the water. I'm like, oh,
Jesus calls.
I just lost it in the theater. I'm like, no. And then
And
he
this, by the way, this is the third time he's fallen, by the way, in this
Mhm.
movie. First time.
the theater was dead quiet at this moment, people. You could have heard a mouse crawl.
Mine was too.
Everybody.
I guess.
Yeah, everybody was quiet because I was scared that, oh my God, are they going to kill him in this film? Because he was sinking into the water. I was so scared.
And Bucky saves him.
I honestly never thought they were gonna kill him off.
Well, I was scared. They fooled me because it scared the
Yeah.
devil out of me in this film. And then this
Well, this is
music
the moment.
came.
This was also the moment it kind of made me forget I was watching a superhero movie.
Exactly, Scooney. Exactly. That's my whole feeling about this film. I forgot I was watching an MCU movie. It just took me so out of it. It did. And then Bucky saves him from the water. And
One
he
little
saves his
detail
life.
that I have to appreciate about Captain America at both intervals of Avengers and this movie.
Mhm.
This man took a laser shot to the abdomen in the Avengers movie, and he took 2 shots to the abdomen in this movie, and still walking.
Mm-hmm.
If there's
Cap is
any
tough.
question to Captain America's power set, there you go. Y'all can shut up
Yes.
Well,
now.
Yes, that's
this just
okay.
reinforces the fact that going back to Marcus and McFeely, working with the
Al
Russos,
Green.
they pretty much
No, Marvin
more or
Gaye. Marvin
less
Gaye.
were the substance of this particular franchise.
Dun,
Because
dun,
looking at Age of Ultron, that
dun,
was written
dun,
and directed by Joss Whedon.
dun,
So
dun,
he
dun, dun.
collected 2 paychecks
I
for the
come
very end of the
apart.
day. You
Callback.
you got an Avengers film. You
Dun,
didn't
dun,
get a standalone
dun,
film, if
dun.
you will.
There go
So
my girl again. There go my girl. Practice for the applying
They
for the CIA.
oh, Captain
Yes.
America niece.
Shut up.
Trooper,
they
stop. We're
completely
enjoying the moment.
I just gotta appreciate that female jawline and the
She hooked
hardened
up to a
fox
lot.
eyes that she got.
Oh,
Yeah. And she went to work for Tony.
Hey, Crunk.
Uh-huh.
You got
And
Crunk
they
in the
were,
house.
oh, hey Kronk. But
Talking
but
about you like a burn victim right now. Technically, he's not, but all that dirt making him look like he charboiled. That's like a burnt
yeah.
chicken right now.
See,
but
and this right here perfectly would have set up a Nick Fury and a Black Widow movie. This right here.
Well, Black Widow
He looks
film
so
definitely
uninvolved in this scene.
I
like
also think that Black Widow should have also had Hawkeye. They have totally eliminated Hawkeye. It would have been a great film for her and Hawkeye to do together. Get the 2 spies together in their film, and they're
well,
not.
oddly enough, Black Widow was shot in Hungary. So that's about as close as you're gonna get. You're not gonna get much more than that.
So to answer your question, Samuel, in my case, if I was hearing it, it sounded like somebody was tapping on the desk.
Sorry, where I'm at, people. They're shooting fireworks all over in my neighborhood, so I apologize.
Oh yeah, no, I
Um,
believe it. It's already late over where you're at. So
yeah, it's 10:30. It's almost 11 o'clock here.
yeah, it's
So
almost 11 p.m. Yeah.
yep. So they shooting up a storm. But for the next, it does. And so I felt that I said, why isn't Hawkeye in the movie with her? Oh, I forgot. It's a whammon thing. So, but that Hawkeye and Black Widow should have got a movie together too. But Scooty, back to what you were saying.
Hey, that's that orc that got smashed by Int.
Watching this film, it's
Throw a little kerosene, light it up. Presto, problem solved.
That's her in watch. Yeah.
Even burned the eye patch.
He even burnt the eye patch, which kind of just contradicts what happened in Age of Ultron because he still has the eye patch.
Oh, he got
a new
come on,
iPad.
Scooter. You know he got
minor iPad.
Bruh, really?
But
That can be replaced. Call back to Pulp Fiction, The Path of the Righteous Man.
Yes, I caught that. Yes. I also think.
Now, did they get the scripture right? The scripture number.
I have to look back at it and see.
Yeah, it was the right one.
Okay, just making
well,
sure.
What's really funny is going back to Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely. They were the writers in Dark World, but it all really comes down to execution. You could really tell who the weak links were in that particular project. You had a different director. Had you had the Russos, maybe. They had Alan Taylor as a director in that one. But they even had Christopher Yost, and if I remember right, Christopher Yost actually has a writing credit on Ragnarok. So again, it comes down to execution. So this film does a lot of things very well. There's very few things that it doesn't do like correctly, if you will. There's very few things that it misses on, and those are like non-detectable, if you will. I mean, this is a very solid film. It's probably one of the stronger films, prior to any Avengers features, if you will. Like, if you were to compare it to, say, another standalone film, this would
No,
you
to give him a
probably
nice
would
little
watch
smooch.
this prior to, say, watching
I still call her little sister.
Well,
Yeah,
she give a
Katie
little.
prior to watching, like,
She
say,
give a little
Ant-Man.
peck on the cheek.
Like-
Yeah.
Again, this is one of those films where it's like if you have to pick A or B, you'll usually pick this film, with the exception of maybe something like Infinity War. But again, that's something completely different. Those are I don't.
Why
compare
y'all
this
starting
film
to
to
erupt in the
standalone
damn
films.
comments after we're close to closing out this
Yeah.
damn stream?
The end. So
Yeah,
Now-
plenty of
now-
time to say something.
Guys, at the end of this, the theater I was at gave it a standing ovation applause. I am not
Mhm.
kidding y'all.
Same here.
Everybody applauded at the
Oh, I
end.
believe it.
Everybody stood.
And I love these end credits. By the
Oh
way.
yeah, Scooty, I agree with you. These end credits are great. I love the score.
Crunk, you're exempt. I'm talking about everybody else who's been here already. Melissa took up most of the damn chat.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't laugh at my jokes, none of our jokes, nothing, not a hoop of hollering, nothing.
We were having a good time, but
Y'all was the most
We'll probably
quietest
do that on the
I've ever
rewatch.
met.
maybe we bored them with it or something. I don't know. Maybe I drooled too much over Chris Evans.
I'm ready to do a Tomorrow War rewatch one of these days. That's what I gotta say.
I'm gonna sell the
I
high
love
season.
gonna be a really good film.
It shows where my favorite part of these end credits is when it shows the Winter Soldier silhouette, and you see the Winter Soldier, and then his shadow is the American flag.
Yeah, I like that. That was beautiful. I agree with you, Scooty. I
That's
also
a
like the way
cool-
they did the shield into Chris Evans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That was really cool. And
Well,
I'll
I
say
mean,
it.
Oh
in
God, I
terms-
appreciate that
in terms
Falcon.
of tropes,
silhouette.
in terms
Yes.
of tropes, if I remember right, this is one of the.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
This is, I don't know if I don't remember offhand if this is the first film to do
Look at Emily.
end credit tropes
Mhm.
like this, because subsequently everything after that kind of has this type of style. Where
Toby
it's
Jones,
like,
that's
if
Zola.
it shows the actor's
But that
name,
would've-
like the background is thematic to that actor's character. So
Really,
This-
kind of wish that they had. I kind of wish that they had done this for the opening credits because I think this would have been pretty cool. But it would have
Yeah.
given too much away.
And the score is perfect. There's a great score for this
I
movie.
did not need that eye in that silhouette.
Fury.
Here comes the post.
That's
last
just my
time I
art
trusted
criticism, man.
somebody, I got my eye scratched out by a flirkin.
Yeah, here comes the closing credit. At the first I wasn't paying attention. I sat through it. I knew one was coming. And I sat through the very, 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 very end, even after this, because I was telling my family, well, everybody was getting up. That's it. I said, no. There's got to be something at the end. There's got to be something at the end. They were like, girl,
Tesseract.
what's better with you? Come on. I said,
I
no,
like how they
there's something.
kept with I like how they're keeping up with tradition for Phase 2, because in Phase 1, Captain America segued into Avengers. This, while it doesn't segue completely into Age of Ultron, it's showing where we're going.
Well,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
honestly, that was one of those things to save money. Oh, hey, by the way, we already know this is around the corner. It's already in post-production. So, I mean,
Well, Age of
there's only
Ultron
another
opens.
film that does that, and that's Ant-Man that uses recycled footage. So,
Well, Age of Ultron opens, picks up right where this left off. Yeah, at this moment. Yeah, when they're going to
Well, this
find
is-
the
this is the
Tesseract.
fun part where, you figure out
Check out Quicksilver in this scene.
that Elizabeth Olsen
He's
is
spurting out there.
in the MCU.
You wanna know why?
Why is
Why?
that?
Why is he reacting the way he is? He's
Why?
perceiving time differently than we are in his perception.
Ah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Now
Well,
he's
that's
finally
okay.
getting it.
These two actors just came off of the set of Godzilla, so I mean that was kind of cool.
This
for
is
me.
before Godzilla.
So, because they were done in the same year, so
also they had to say enhanced humans because they didn't have the rights to the X-Men yet. I knew what
Yeah.
they were, and so they had
The
to say
miracles. They were called the
Mhm.
miracles.
Yeah, I thought it was corny balls, but I said to myself, I understand why they had to do it because they didn't have the legally rights to the X-Men, so they couldn't say mutants. So
Can we appreciate, Leia, that they don't say destroy instead of kill?
yes, I can appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate that. But
well, I mean, it's a
We can
Disney film.
complain
I mean,
with it,
there's-
whatever Sunday morning cartoon word that they pull out of their ass to name such things.
I mean, these
next
Disney
time.
films have a formula to them. They really do. It's like,
Mhm.
there's kids watching. Of course, there's kids watching. So, but
But yeah, the audience at the end. Now I stayed to the very, very end. My family wanted to leave. Everyone's like, "Well, that's it. It's time to go." I said, "Wait a minute, y'all. There's something at the end." They said, "No, it is." I said, "Just sit. Would y'all just sit for a while and wait to the very end?" So my relatives were in the car because we
Y'all
were.
ain't ready. What y'all quick to run out your gas, aren't y'all?
No, me. I wanted to stay. I wanted to
I
stay,
know.
but
I'm talking. I would have been like, y'all quick to run out your gas, huh? Y'all,
they
y'all
want.
can
They
stay a little bit
Yeah,
longer.
yeah,
they wanted.
exactly. I'm saying stay and watch the end credits because by the time you leave after the end credits, you got a free parking lot.
They were.
That's so true.
Yes, you're right. And they were hungry because we usually go out to dinner after the movie. So they were like, we wanted to. Just Avenger, it would have done a trailer for Age of Ultron. Okay, Samuel Proctor, that's a thought. That's a thought there, Samuel. That's a thought. Well, my family was hungry because we usually go out to dinner
The
afterwards
musical montage.
and sit in a restaurant and yap what we just saw, and we did. We just could not stop. Ooh, you should have heard us in the car, Wolf. Everybody was talking over everybody because everybody loved this so much.
After
Everybody
they
did.
got out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
After they got
Yeah.
out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, they were in the car. We were all in the car
Or
talking about how this.
Superman.
Oh well,
Or Ninja Turtles.
yeah.
Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
Jurassic Park food. We
Jurassic-
traditionalists up in here, motherfucker.
I love
Recognize.
Jurassic World. What are you talking
I
about?
love Jurassic World too, but I'm talking about Jurassic Park right now.
Good night, Scoonie. I have to go in a minute too, but it's been
All right,
fun.
take care, Schooner.
Thanks, care, Scoonie.
Yeah, I gotta get going, you guys. But
No,
hey, thanks for
See you
inviting
later,
me.
man.
To I had a great time.
It's a shame we don't get that Captain America jingle from Schooner before he go.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
God, twist my arm, why don't you?
Mhm. You know me.
Yep. Ba da 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 da. Who's strong and brave here to save the American way? Who
Something bonds.
fight
yeah,
and
yeah,
demand
yeah.
night and day?
Something
Who
bonds.
will campaign, heed the call for America, carry the flag shore to shore for America, from Hoboken to Spokane, the Star-Spangled Man with the plan.
Something bonds.
Yeah.
And on that note, coming at you live from a secret government facility buried deep underground, this is Schooner Tuna signing off. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Good night, Scoonie. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
I think I'm gonna go nod off.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna
you
nod
are.
off too.
I'm gonna take off in a minute. I'm just gonna see the last credit with Barnes, and I'm glad I stayed for that.
Oh shoot. Let me
Because I
take care
thought that was a great ending shot. I knew something was coming along, but it just. I told my family that why do you do? I said that's to show you he's still around, and of course, we see him again. Now the only thing I'll
It's
say.
powered by Getty Images. Haha.
Oh,
Happy
good.
4th of July, guys.
Happy
Yeah.
4th
You too. Thank you,
Hey, for
Scooby.
the joke.
too.
Fine, man.
Yeah, it's
I
fantastic.
kind of wish that we got a cap for one solo movie before Civil War. I think they should have did one solo. I think Civil War was rushed. That's my own personal opinion, but I think I wish they had gave us one more Cap film where it was where he searched the search for Bucky, while all the events of Civil War are building up. So by the time we get to Civil War, we're ready to go. I always felt Civil War was rushed. Trooper is. I'm about to take off myself. I'm next. Guys, this has been a whole lot of fun. I was glad to share my favorite MCU movie with all of you. If I have any final words, I say of all the performances as Steve Rogers, this is the best performance by Chris Evans. I think.
Let's start wrapping it up. Yeah.
Yep, and I felt that this is when Captain America
You hanging in there, Brian?
became popular.
Yeah, I'm
But thank
still
you
here.
for me talking and sharing my. I'm getting ready to sign off. So thank you all so much. I hope you all enjoyed the rest of your evening. And if hopeful, I will get to you all on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yep.
All
I
right
guess it's
then.
up to.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Schooner and Trooper, for joining us. I know it sounded like we were fighting amongst ourselves in the panel. No, that's just for show, everybody. That's just all for show. That's just our usual shtick. But I'd like to say to everybody, since we're on this monumentous occasion, I wanna be America, living in America, coast to coast. Mm, good God. Anyways,
Hmm.
I'd like to thank the lovely Lady of Valor for joining us today.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Like again, it was wonderful sharing my favorite film with all of you. This has been lots of fun. I hope we get to do it again another time.
The Maverick Hunter Saint Brian Gill Martin.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Glad to be able to watch this film and share it with all you guys. And hope you guys had a great Fourth of July. And good night, everybody.
Now, I'd like to make sure everybody is well aware that this Tuesday we're doing the Fantasy Studio Office, where we will be doing the architects of the DCEU, where we will discuss what we will be doing if we were handling the DCEU. Much like what we
Mhm.
did with the Phase Four Marvel, what our thoughts of what we were going to do for Phase Four Marvel, we'll be doing not necessarily going off a rewrite, more so a building of. So
Right.
be ready for that, definitely. And that with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody. This has been your Wolf Commander. I am your werewolf, and you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet, and thank you all for your contributions to us, the patriots who will be coming by to watch this rewatch. Thank you, everybody. Ow!